3, 2, 1.
Wunderbar.
Shut the fuck up.
They call me the Germinator.
No, they don't. Stop this. I don't know what it is, but whenever we start a podcast, you just get in a weird mood where you just say phrases. You just say phrases that mean nothing over and over again. It does my head in sometimes. Let's just
Germinator.
talk. Stop it.
Bro is jealous.
Shut the fuck up.
He didn't think of the Germinator.
Shut the fuck up.
Please, can I keep all this in before the...
Do what you want, man.
That's really funny.
Hello and welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast in the world. For now. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host. By my dickhead co-host. As we go.
No.
Oh, fuck, I keep forgetting it. As we. What
I
do we
liked
do?
it better the first way round.
No, what do we do? Lawrence, you're going to tell us all what this silly little show is all about.
There we go, you got it. Nathan, this is the show where each week we get to... This is the week where we get
Good
together...
one.
Thank you.
Well done.
Nathan, this is the show where each week we get together to discuss something in the realm of pop culture. It could be a movie. It will be a movie. But the main thing is that we do so without any of the toxic discourse that is oh so prevalent these days. Today we're talking about 2 movies, so that's something
Two
different.
movies, not since... I don't know how long has it been that we've discussed 2 movies in one episode.
It can't have been as long ago as the time when we did all 9 at the time Spider-Man movies.
Well, that was like one of our first. That was a foolish endeavor. Okay?
Yeah, but we've done a lot of TV in one bulk. Have we ever done a lot of films in one bulk?
Yeah, like you just said, all the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, but again, that was ages ago. Like, since then, have we done something?
No, we haven't done it in quite a while. We used to double up on movies quite a bit. Like, we'd often do a this and that. We did all the Bonds.
We did Cars.
We did Cars. No, I think... Was Cars all in one?
Yeah, Cars was definitely all in one. Because I remember halfway through, we were like, let's have a breakdown about Cars 2.
I always have a breakdown about Cars. Well, what is... we did all the Bonds. Well...
yeah.
we did all the Bonds minus the one that was coming, or the new one.
Yeah,
because
we did that thing where we tried to be like hit a relevancy window, but we just couldn't be asked to go and watch the new Bond movie, so we didn't.
I think you'd seen it, but I hadn't.
Well, we couldn't be asked to talk about it then. One way we got around to it eventually.
We eventually got around to it. Yeah, that had its own episode, which was probably for the better.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot to discuss in that last Bond movie. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we're here. What are we doing? You pitched this to me in a sort of differently, but go on.
Yeah. Well, before you took a sledgehammer to this podcast, whilst it was sleeping soundly. Okay.
It's interesting to see how you see it, for sure.
I said we should do Happy Feet. Well, no, I didn't. I said, I can't even remember what I said.
We're winding down, aren't we? This podcast is needing to be put out to pasture.
You put that.
Honest.
Shut the fuck up. You put your sledgehammer down right now. Okay?
I won't.
All right. I said, I can't even remember what I said, but basically the idea was, I watched Happy Feet and I was like, this is a sick movie. I would say George Miller's masterpiece. And then you, having not seen Happy Feet, in typical Lawrence fashion, said, you're a fucking idiot and I fucking hate you and you're gay for liking Happy Feet, you cunt. A movie that I haven't seen. And anyway, obviously Mad Max is his superior movie, despite the fact that he's got like fucking 7 movies called Mad Max or whatever. But anyway,
they've all got different titles. What does that mean?
They're all the fucking same. Mad Max is his superior movie. That's what you said. Yeah. And then I said, fuck you, cunt. You haven't seen it. And then you went, all right.
I would love to pull up the text and find out just how verbatim that might be, because I suspect not at all. But
no, it was pretty much verbatim. But no, the original plan was we was gonna do the Miller masterpiece sandwich, where we would determine once and for all what is, and it was probably going to be a series when we had more time. But it would have been, it basically would have worked out. We would have done Mad Max, Fury Road, or Furiosa, one of them, and
One
then
of
we
the
would
two.
have done Happy Feet, and then we would have done whatever the other Mad Max one we didn't do was. So
Yeah.
a sandwich of George Miller movies where we could determine once and for all what is his masterpiece out of those 3 movies in particular. Anyway.
Yeah, not the other one. Not Babe 2 Pig in the City, I believe is the other one he did.
A movie which I haven't seen in or maybe I just haven't seen. I've seen Babe. I don't know if I've seen
Everyone's
Babe
seen
2
Babe.
Pig in the City.
I'd imagine Babe Goes to the City.
Well, you'd think so with a title like Babe 2 Pig in the City.
What's Babe
sort
getting
of
up to in New York?
what's fucking anyone? Look, all right, first of all, they never say it's New York. It's the city, all right?
Yeah, but that's like the city, isn't it?
I'm
Like,
gonna look this up. You boy, is egg gonna be on your face if you're wrong here?
well, maybe.
Babe Pig in the City. Oh, it'd help if I could spell. Babe Pig in the City. I'll tell you what, this doesn't look like New York from the poster. Okay,
All right,
I
but
think
is
I
it
can
New
see.
York?
I think I can see the Golden Gate Bridge. Okay,
Oh no.
which leads me to think it's San Francisco.
Oh, you can see the Golden Gate Bridge in that photo.
A few weeks after the events of the first film, there's an airport, the city of Metropolis. Bloody hell, they're in fucking Superman's home
What the
turf.
fuck is going on?
It's a fake city. It's a fictional city. All right.
Oh, okay, so we can determine probably New York then.
No, I think based on it, we can determine San Francisco. But actually,
maybe.
it's Metropolis. So
Yeah. Look, Metropolis. I want to know what he's getting up to. What's Babe kicking about in Metropolis up to?
well, he's a pig, isn't he? So he's probably getting up some pig sort of stuff.
Just getting grabbed by a butcher so
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah. What
That'll
city
do,
is
pig.
that? It's like it's actually quite like it's definitely a fictional city. It's quite like futuristic almost.
Is it?
Looking at it's like not futuristic, but it's like every city in America because there's the Statue of Liberty, there's the Golden Gate Bridge, and then there's also the Hollywood Hill sign, all in one fucking city. So
Right. I see.
they've just basically condensed all of America down to a city, I guess. So
Why
there
is
you
it
go.
like on the poster? Why is there a yellow brick road like it's the fucking Wizard of Oz?
I don't know. I don't fucking ask George Miller, man. I ain't seen this movie.
What's
Alright?
George Miller cooking? What's George Miller cooking up, man?
He's cooking a masterpiece.
Was Babe fantastical?
Well, it was a talking pig, Lawrence.
Yeah,
all right?
I know
How
it
many
was a-
fucking talking pigs have you seen? The pig was a sheepdog. All right. Is it fantastical?
Just things talking doesn't make it fantastical though. Like what?
Well,
like,
doesn't
was,
it? Have you ever seen a fucking
no,
pig
but like
talk?
was the farmer like fucking? I don't know. Did he live in a cloud or some shit? Like was there other weird?
Did he live in
elements
a
to it?
cloud?
I don't know.
He lived on a farm.
Was the farm in a cloud?
Why would the farm be on a cloud, you
I don't know. They've got
moron?
the fucking yellow brick road from Oz.
Nowhere is that on a cloud, though.
I don't know. I'm just making up fantastic. What? Look, we're off topic.
Piss me off with that.
Let's get back to George Miller's masterpieces, Happy Feet and Mad Max Fury Road. Where do you want to start?
Where do you want to start?
Well, I've got notes on both, so I'm happy to go in which dealer's choice.
Well, we're talking about both, aren't we?
Yeah, but which one first?
Are we gonna? I thought we were talking about both. We're not gonna be like now we talk about this one and now we talk about this one.
All right, but it's gonna be. There's not really many through points through either of them that we can jump back and forth on.
But we're comparing and seeing which one's the best.
Are we compare? I thought we were just talking about both. I didn't know we were coming in having to prove like which one is definitively better because I think we both have different opinions and I can't see either of our opinions changing.
Well, that was the point. We were going to determine Miller's masterpiece, wasn't
All right,
we?
what do you think it is now?
It was obviously Happy Feet.
It's obviously Happy Feet,
Yes,
like by a
okay.
clear distance.
By a clear country mile, it's
Ah.
Happy Feet. Okay,
I feel the opposite is true, but we will discuss.
insane.
We will discuss. All right, Happy Feet. I'd watched this for the first time today. Well, no, probably not. I probably watched this like once way back when, but I didn't remember a fucking thing about it. So essentially, I watched it for the first time today at your behest. What do you think about Happy Feet, the movie?
I think it's a masterpiece. I think it is George Miller's true masterpiece. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. It's well crafted, visually stunning, great performances all around. It's got a main character that I actually care about with a storyline with, who has more than 4 lines
Yeah.
and like actually has motivation and thoughts and feelings and a personality,
Oh, okay. All right. Look, can I just preempt
you
this by
can't.
saying
No, you
I'm not
can't.
taking pot shots at Happy Feet, so relax, all right?
We'll see. We'll see about that. All right.
All right.
I think it is George Miller's true masterpiece, and it's a story that goes places you definitely don't expect it to. It's not a run of the mill, believe in yourself storyline. It actually has turns and unexpected events happen with it. It's got a stacked cast, like fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Surprisingly stacked cast for what it is. And it's great. And I'm just saying that the 2 movies we're discussing, only one of them was nominated and won Best Animated Feature. So
I mean, Mad Max was nominated a ludicrous amount.
was it nominated for Best Animated Feature?
No, but it's not animated.
Was it nominated for Best Animated Feature?
No, I suppose you've got
And
me there.
doesn't that speak volumes? Okay.
No, but yeah,
Was it
sure.
nominated for Best Picture?
I have no idea, to be honest.
It was. Did it win? No. Do you know what did? Moonlight. Yes, it was that year. We all remember.
Oh, wait, was it?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. Moonlight
Yes, it
was
was.
2016.
Look it up. Look it up.
Moonlight?
Look it up.
I'm not looking up. I'll just believe you, but I'm sure. Oh, La La Land was 2016. Yeah. You are right. Yeah.
Wait, was it that year? It might not have been.
Now I need to go and check.
Now that I think about it, I don't know. Because Mad Max did come out in 2015. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Our best picture was Spotlight, not Moonlight.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that year where it infamously
wasn't.
was Moonlight, but sort of La La Land, but not really.
It was not. It was never La La Land. Okay.
They thought it was. They sure did a good job of thinking it was for a second.
Not on my watch. All right. Yeah, Spotlight, a movie I haven't seen. So good.
I've seen Spotlight. It's a good movie.
Of course you have, you pedophile.
It's just the opposite of that is true, but sure.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know. Something about Happy Feet.
Yes. Happy Feet won Best Animated Feature. Mad Max did not win Best Animated Feature, nor did it win Best Picture. So speaks volumes.
Look, you've got me there. It did not
Exactly.
win Best Animated Feature. That's true.
Yep.
All right, look, Happy Feet. I like it. Right, I think it got like real weirder than I was expecting it to get. If I'm completely honest,
It goes places that you're not expecting.
I was genuinely like, the cast surprised me. I heard Hugh Jackman, and then I remembered there was singing in the movie, and I went, of course, Hugh Jackman sniffed this one out from wherever he was.
He loves it.
But I think it's
Robin Williams plays 2 different characters,
I know. How bizarre.
and they're in the same group as well.
It's like, sure, whatever, man. That's fine.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Look, it's a fun movie. I did have a good time watching it, right? Especially in the second half. I thought the first half I was a little bit like, because it's light on plot for a bit. This movie,
But
I think,
okay.
I think it is.
Bro's coming out to bat for Fury Road saying Happy Feet is light on plot.
Right. I'm not. This is right. You can never grasp this, right? I'm not saying one thing is bad from another thing because I don't like it in a different thing.
You're saying you hate Happy Feet.
No, you're just in your brain. You cannot compliment something without kicking something else.
I fucking want a word with your wife as well. All right. I saw that letterbox rating she gave it. All right.
I've concealed mine.
Yeah.
We'll see what it is later. I don't even know, to be honest, because it's an odd movie, and I want to think about it a bit more.
It's
Right?
amazing.
I'm not even saying I dislike it. It was so not what I thought it was gonna be.
Let me say this. All right. Let me let you in on where I'm at with Happy Feet, and I think this will help you understand my mentality of it. Okay?
All right, yeah, sure.
Happy Feet is my Incredibles.
All right, I'm vibing.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy Feet is my Incredibles. All right.
right.
So much so that there's that moment in Incredibles which you fucking love, the bit where Dash runs and he has the little and he does the little giggle or whatever. You love that moment inexplicably for some reason. You think it's like the greatest moment in cinema.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
I've never understood that because I'm like, what the fuck? It's just a little thing that happens. Okay.
Yeah.
But in Happy Feet, I have a moment like that. There's a moment where something happens and I just get so fucking pumped every single time. I'm like, fuck yes! I love it so much. It's great.
Do share. What moment?
I'll tell you a bit later as we go through it.
I want to know now. You can't tee me up like that and then not share.
It's called a tease, Lawrence.
Oh, God damn it. I don't like being teased. I want to get right into it now.
Stop that now.
All right, I see where you're coming from. Like, look, I don't know if I'm there. I definitely like enjoyed this though. I do think it's like it takes like bold stances that I appreciate it taking, and it also makes like little silly. Like, it's not afraid to be a kids movie while at the same time being.
It is a kids movie.
No, I know it's not afraid to be one. Like, it's doing silly, goofy stuff, right? But it's also like genuinely saying some stuff about like in the way that I think a lot of kids animated movies do. They can find a deeper meaning for adults as well. And watching this like deep criticisms of organized religion and like the kind of experience of the quote unquote other, like, and how like being ostracized from a group can push people away, but also make people realize who they truly are themselves. And like, I was just so not ready for like a little movie I thought was about dancing penguins to like go those places. So I was like really pleasantly surprised at that.
And then also just throws an eco-environmental message on you as well.
Along with the mix, yeah.
Along with everything else. Look, it goes places, all right? Definitely goes places you would not expect. It's not your just run-of-the-mill children's movie where it's like, I'm different, and they're like, that's bad, so don't be different. And he's like, but I want to be different. Okay, you're different, and now we like you, all right? Yeah. There's a lot more, like, it is that, but there's a lot more to it than that. It's a lot more layered than just a simple, I'm different, and that's okay, you know? It's great.
I do think it is, like, more fleshed out than the average one. Like, it's I don't even know, I can't quite pinpoint it, right? Because would you agree that this is a movie that, like, if you had no connection to it and you watched it for the first time, you'd be like, that's kind of weird in the third act. Like, it gets weird with it.
It definitely gets weird. Yeah, I watched this the other night with Catherine, who had not seen it. Okay. And
what was that experience?
Like? It was quite an experience watching it through her eyes. She went on a fucking journey with that movie. Okay, and it was quite. She knew like nothing about the movie, so it was quite funny to see her react to everything. Quite the fucking roller coaster she went on with all the twists and turns along the way. But,
well, this movie must be a really fun movie to watch, like, through someone else's eyes. Like, doing that annoying thing where someone's watching a movie and you turn to look at them and you're like, I want to see how you react to these things.
Had your wife seen it?
She had seen it, and before...
By the way, I hate the fact that I have to call her your wife, because it sounds like we're just diminishing her to that role, you know?
She prefers this. She prefers this.
I know, like, she's very weird about her privacy, and fair play to her, okay?
Yeah.
But just know, we're not only saying she is Lawrence's wife and nothing more. She is a person with her own fucking name and everything else.
She's got opinions and stuff on Letterboxd.
But you can't follow her, all right? Only I can follow her.
No,
and get
Nathan
mad
does
at what she
follow her,
posts. Yeah.
Look, it's
all she does is like everything Lawrence posts anyway, so you're not missing out.
Good on her. That's just me grabbing her phone when she's asleep.
Yeah, I know it is.
No, she'd seen this before. She did not like it, and she continues to not like it until today. But we spoke, like, she was looking at me because there were parts of it I was enjoying, and she was looking at me like, are you vibing with this? And I was like, I think I might be. I think I am in places.
What's wrong with her? Why is she not liking it?
It's a good thing that you put in that, like, hey, she's more than just my wife. She has her own thoughts and feelings and opinions before you disagree with her very publicly.
Probably having a pregnancy mood swing.
Oh, one of them women things.
One of them. All right, I didn't say that. All right, bloody hell.
I don't know why she's like super not into this, right? Because I'll be honest,
she loves whimsy and fun stuff, and I thought this would be right up her street.
I don't know. She just did, like, I think from her perspective, it's a lot, right? It's a lot of themes and a lot of like messages to explore, and like it does. I would maybe not fully agree, but I think it can be a bit messy in places where it kind of forgets what it's about for 10 minutes and then it returns to it.
Hey. Don't even start, mate. Don't even fucking start.
Are you going to be okay with it? Like, now you understand The Incredibles, right? When you were like, oh, it's just bang average. And I was like, kill yourself, please.
First
right?
of all, I never said it was bang average. All right.
No, but you disputed at every point why it was special. Like,
I know. I just didn't like it as much as you. All right.
I don't know.
Which
People
I
have
think
called
is
you out since. People on the Discord.
I think is a very reasonable take to have. Okay.
Look, any take is a reasonable take, right? This is unfortunately where we're at. But sometimes we have to swallow it.
That's not true. Any take is not a reasonable take. Okay.
Any take that is in good faith is reasonable. Like, not weird racist or homophobic takes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not your usual takes.
They're not my usual takes.
Yeah.
By the way, if Nathan's getting randomly louder, it's because for some reason he's swinging his microphone back and forth to his mouth.
I can do whatever I want to do.
I mean, he can. I'm not stopping him. I'm just telling people why. Well, all right. Why was it your Incredibles then? Happy Feet. Like, did you like just watch this a lot when you were young and then like connect with it as an adult? Like, where are you at with it?
I don't think I wasn't necessarily like a young kid when I saw it because it came out in 2006, so I was already like fucking 13 or whatever at the point when it came out. And my little sister had not long been born. She was like a baby or whatever. She was born in 2005, so like not long.
I love that.
She was like,
she's not long been born. She was like a baby or whatever.
She was a baby or whatever. You know, one of those things.
Yeah.
You'll know. You'll find out soon.
Yeah, I'll be like, what's this baby or whatever?
What's this baby or whatever? How'd I get this? Well, when I'm mommy and daddy.
Don't listen if you're my wife this episode.
No, so she was a baby, and like there was obviously like children's DVDs and movies and shit in the house and stuff. And just one afternoon, I found myself watching this. She had it on DVD, and I was watching. I was like, oh, I don't want to watch this because I was 13 and I was edgy, and I was like, oh, I want to watch
Happy
Doctor
Feet.
Who instead. You know?
I'd rather watch Miserable Feet. Thank you very much.
I'd rather watch Torchwood because I'm cool and edgy like that. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, but for whatever reason, I found myself watching Happy Feet, and I was like, fine, I'll watch this. And then I fell in love with this whimsical little storyline and these silly little penguins and Elijah Wood doing his little dances and stuff. And I just loved it so much, you know, and the music as well, like the songs and the performances, like it does a really good job, I think, of starting off and just getting you hooked with this jukebox musical and these performances. I think they're really good, really.
They are. They're definitely like a welcome addition because like this movie, I cannot. If you haven't seen this enough, if you haven't seen it, I cannot stress enough to like go and watch it because it's not what you think it is.
It opens with a Prince song. Okay?
What the fuck? Yeah.
It opens with a Prince song. Okay.
There's a Spanish cover of Frank Sinatra's My Way.
Yeah, by Robin Williams. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's great.
So it's very strange. But yeah, no, I do think like in the back end of this, right? It spent a movie disarming you, being like, this is about these things pretty simply. And then like the last 20 minutes or so, it's like Truman Show, existentialism. Like, what is your place in the universe? Do you matter? Or do you matter more than anyone? And it's like, oh, I wasn't prepared to grapple with these questions of life right now.
I'm not sure the Truman Show. I'm not sure about that.
I mean more in the like the visual sense, like the kind of trapped in a wall, thinking that like, you know, like the clouds wall kind of vibe of the zoo.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like in the way that the Truman Show makes you think about like how significant or insignificant you might be. I think this does something fairly similar to that towards the end, definitely.
You don't have to be beautiful. All
right, revisiting this as an adult, what are you loving?
I'm loving it all, man. It's so good.
All right, but zero in.
I am. All right, let me talk.
All right.
You know, we got a stacked cast. We got Hugh Jackman himself.
Yep.
We got Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
Both of them doing insane American accents for starters, first of all. Hugh Jackman going for this, like, rock and roll, like, / preacher-esque sort of
I
role.
put Elvis down. Especially
kind of
because he's
Elvis.
called Memphis as well.
Yeah, kind of like Elvis. Yeah, and then Nicole Kidman, like this weird sort of like showgirl voice, you know, like oh, damn it, like sort of thing.
It's
and
very, very odd. Like I was
very
picturing as well.
breathy and
Yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking it's weird that like they wanted to zero in on specific accents because this movie, right? Penguins are from wherever they're from.
They're the like every creature or species of creature is like from a different place in Earth. Apparently, they all have. The birds are from New York.
Yeah.
Okay? Wow, you want to hear about my? You want to hear about my fucking? You know,
Hey, you asked about my ankle bracelet.
Hey, yes, about my ankle. The bird was a story. I'm gonna tell him a story. Hey, the fucking there's another species of penguins who are all Latino. Okay, like I love there's maybe some problematic cultural depictions. Okay, but
One or two, maybe. Yeah.
and look, maybe most of them are voiced by Robin Williams. Okay, as well, you know, but whatever. There's
2006, folks. 2006.
Yeah, 2006. Elephant seals are fucking Australian and voiced by Steve Irwin.
Steve-O, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it is. I think his final role as well, the final thing he did. Because,
Oh, it probably would have been.
yeah, this came out shortly after he died as well. This came out. He died September. This came out in December the same year.
It could have been a Dark Knight scenario where he won a posthumous Oscar
Could have been, yeah.
for his role as that seal or
For his
something.
role as various elephant seals in Happy Feet. Robbed, to be honest.
I'm quite surprised that George Miller wanted Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman to do accents, given that they're all native Australians. Like,
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. The penguins are not, though. The penguins are all American, but then one of them is Hugo Weaving, and he's Scottish instead.
yeah, what's happening? Everyone that worked on this is doing a choice, and
Yeah.
I'm not. Apart from maybe Elijah Wood.
Yeah. Oh, and also there's Miriam Margolyes, who plays a sort of German teacher as well. That's Miriam Margolyes. Yeah.
Oh, someone out there, Topher Grace, if you're listening, do the cut where it's Miriam Margolyes just swearing at all the kids.
Yeah.
There's enough of her swearing somewhere out there.
There's plenty. Yeah.
One of my favorite videos of Miriam Margolyes is when she like dips herself into like a cold pool or like a cold body of water, and she just goes "fucking hell" really loudly.
I love any clip where she's just calling Tories cunts and telling them to fuck off.
Yeah, it's
Pretty great.
It's wonderful. Again, just go and find her on some social media, right? You'll have an absolutely amazing time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed that. Have you seen the movie Pitch Perfect?
I have seen every movie, but no, I haven't seen Pitch Perfect.
But that's the one you're holding out on.
Yeah.
You haven't got around to that. They do a riff off that's very similar to the little riff off that's in this, and I think I can only be left to assume that they stole it from the movie Happy Feet.
Oh, all right. What riff off do they do?
No, it's you know the game where they're playing where like they start to sing a song and then you have to pick up with a different song from the same word or something.
What?
Yeah, all the penguins are sat around doing a song at one point.
Not a game.
It's like a riff off thing.
What are you talking about?
The
What
bit
scene?
where-
What song?
The I don't know what song specifically. I can't remember, but it's just like it's like 4 different songs. It's not like a big number. It's not a big
Where?
point. They're just doing a riff off thing, right? It's just something that they're doing.
What songs though? Where
I
in the
can't
movie?
remember. There's like 4 of them very quickly.
What do you like? What songs?
Nathan,
though?
you'll have to watch this for the 3rd time this month, all right?
You got to give me more than just they're doing a riff off, and I can't give you any more information than that.
Look, you would if you had seen Pitch Perfect, you would know what I'm talking about, but you haven't. Therefore, it's fruitless for me to try and explain it. Because even if you understand what scene I'm talking about, you'll still go, "Oh, okay, cool. Did they? Nice." Like there's no conversation.
But is it like when fucking Gloria's singing her heart song, and then the other penguins are like, "I'll make love to you like you want me to."
It might be that point
I'll
when they're trying to
hold
like
you
various
tight,
ones are trying to latch
baby.
onto her song or whatever.
Anyway, what was your point?
That's the point. The point I'm making is that in Pitch Perfect they do a similar thing where someone starts singing a song and then they take it and turn it into another song.
You couldn't even tell me what songs they do, though.
I couldn't remember what they were. It's just a thing that happens in another movie. I didn't realize we'd be spending this long on it.
Can I express how pointless that whole bit was?
I know. I tried to move on.
No.
All right, something I do really like in Happy Feet. They managed to. Well, this is kind of a thing and a thing and a thing I didn't like. Right, like the thing I like about it is that I found it very fun that in essentially one location they were, which is essentially just like kind of icebergs and like snowy cliffs and stuff. Right,
I believe it's known as Antarctica.
you might just be right in that.
Yeah,
in that assessment.
Might be wrong. Is that? I just choked on my own tongue for a second. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what happened.
It happens to the best of us, man.
I just choked on my tongue for a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Do penguins live on Antarctica or do they live on the other one, the North Pole? Or is Antarctica the North Pole or the South Pole?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
I think no, yeah, Antarctica is the South Pole, and then there's the North Pole. I think the penguin, like, there's a creature, there's a species which only lives on one, and then there's a species which only lives on the other. In my mind, I'm thinking it's polar bears on one and penguins on the other, but I might be wrong on that. I don't know.
Do they
enough.
not share the gaff?
Nah, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong though.
Well, we've never been. If truth be told,
few people have. Well, no, quite a few people have to be.
Yeah, so that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, no, quite a few people have. We should go.
We should go. Should we go now?
Yeah, I'd like to live there.
Yeah. Oh, I know you would. You're all about kind of finding a little cabin in snow somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah. It's like my dream life, really. That's my ultimate goals. Is just there.
But it's always the stipulation of good internet, right?
Good internet, and also somehow like good Uber Eats connections as well.
You get one or the other. You can't have it all.
I need it all right.
It can't be remote and then also have a local subway or whatever.
This is why I need like teleportation powers or whatever, or portals or something.
Yeah, so you could just go there. Like when you're off work, you could just go there. Or you could Uber Eats home to get some dinner and then take it back to Antarctica or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, no, something I like about it is how they use... The movie is largely set, apart from kind of in the third act, like a lot of it is on these kind of Antarctic cliffs and icebergs and stuff, right? Because obviously it's a movie about fucking penguins. I really like in this how they're able to get quite a lot of mileage out of it, like a lot of these kind of growing up tropes of movies. Like you have that spring break moment where they jump off into the ocean. You know, like in America, you always see like, let's go jump off that big cliff or whatever. Like,
no, is that a thing?
That happens in.
Do they all jump off a cliff at spring break? Is that a thing?
No, it doesn't.
I thought it was largely about getting drunk and having sex. I didn't know they all jump off a cliff for spring break. Oh, spring break! Let's go jump off this cliff.
Look, you know what it is. You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't think anyone jumps off a cliff.
No, not like a cliff, but like a I don't know,
pier
like
into a lake.
Yeah, that, but then also like off like a kind of like a low mountain.
Maybe they jump off a metaphorical cliff, Lawrence, into adulthood.
Okay. Very nice. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Helping you get out of this fucking hole you're
I didn't put myself in it.
You did. You fell into it. Admittedly, I also like fucking pushed you further into it by zeroing in. But like, come on.
They kind of emulate that with the penguins all having a bit of fun, like around graduation. There's like a bullying scene with the birds, kind of like picking on young little fucking Elijah Wood. Like,
I wouldn't call it. It's not young Elijah Wood. It's young Mumble. Okay, it's E.G. Daily.
Oh,
okay?
I see. We're splitting hairs here today.
Look, well, you crediting another artist's work, okay?
What's that?
You're crediting the wrong artist. E.G. Daily is the voice actor for Young Mumbles, who is a very talented voice actress. You will know her as the voice of Tommy Pickles in Rugrats.
I do.
Okay,
I've never seen Rugrats, but sure.
You've never seen Rugrats? Oh, I guess you're not of that age. I guess. But
no, not my era.
I fucking loved Rugrats.
My brother's era, which checks out because that's your era.
Yes, it unfortunately is, yes. Yes, I am closer in age to your brother than I am to you.
You're the same age right now.
You just fuck off. All right, is he 31?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no, he might be 32 now. I don't know. I'll check in. I'll ask.
Fuck you. All right. You just turned 28. All right. You said fucking hell.
I'm not far behind, but that's the best thing about
You're
being
the one
younger.
who's married with a kid on the way. All right.
But I'll always stay younger.
No, you won't. That
As you
kid is
age,
gonna
I will
age
too.
you. That kid is gonna fucking age you. All right.
Physically, yes, but like in terms of numbers, we know the score. We know what's what.
No, we don't. I'm gonna lose years. All right.
I'm gonna get so old when this kid is born, aren't I?
You already are old. You're like more old and boring than me.
In what sense?
Lawrence, an idea of a fun day out for you was going to the fucking co-op.
No, it's
right?
not. You ran with this, right? And everyone on the Discord's like, "Oh, Nathan made a funny joke. Like, get a job, all of you." All right, I'm sick of it. I said
that
hey,
is fucking rich coming from you when you just sit about on your ass watching fucking movies all day.
Oh,
right.
listen, all right. I get paid to watch those movies. Okay, some of them anyway.
Fucking hell.
I didn't say it was my fun idea of a day out. They had an opening thing and it was a local event, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll go check that out for like an hour maximum.
Fun day out to the co-op.
Oh, God. Do you know what? I like the co-op. I'm not even ashamed. I think it's cool. It's a nice co-op and it's convenient to have a local store.
Rest my case.
But yeah, so they even have like a parents a parents evening style conversation where where Mumbo's been like doing his little tap in school, and like they pull Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman aside and they're like, is something wrong with this kid? Like, if I don't know, they get a lot of mileage out of these tropes. Like, they make something feel distinctively like a classroom, despite it just kind of being like an icy cove. Like, I think they do well to use the space because it is like limited in terms of how much they can visually show.
Yeah, it's true. It is literally just like a little icy cave sort of thing, and they do kind of do a good job in making it look like a classroom. I think it's all about like placement of the actual penguins and stuff, really. 'Cause you've got like the teacher at the front and then all the little children and stuff in like a little huddle together watching and stuff. But yeah, they definitely do a good job with all of that. Have you ever seen March of the Penguins?
No.
No, it's like a documentary movie all about like emperor penguins and stuff. And it's quite interesting. It's narrated by Morgan Freeman.
Oh, sounds great already.
Yeah, exactly. But they're a fascinating species. Like, obviously, at the beginning of this, Hugh Jackman drops the egg, like out in the cold, and like that's made a big deal of. And like, it is true that like if a penguin drops its egg, it can pretty much instantly die. They can lose that kid instantly, which does happen to like a lot of penguins. And then like when all the eggs start hatching and stuff, often there's penguins who don't have a kid or have lost their chick or whatever. It wasn't born or whatever happened, and they will try to steal other penguins' chicks. They will just try to like take them for themselves and stuff. Just because,
incredible.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. It's like really fucking, I don't know, like strange and heartbreaking, but like really fascinating at the same time.
That is like, fascinating, but like horrifying. Nature's scary, man.
They mate for life, penguins. Yeah.
Oh man, that's fucking. Oh, another fun fact about this movie: Mumbo obviously can't sing.
Mumble.
Oh, there's Mumbo. Is it not Mumbo?
No, it's Mumble.
Oh, there's Mumbo number 5.
No, it's not Mumbo number 5. It's Mumble. Okay?
I've been saying Mumbo this whole time. You haven't corrected me.
Mumble. All right, Mumble. Mumble.
I'm gonna go and recorrect myself. Right, hang on. Here's a few for me. Mumble, mumble, mumble.
Great. Let's see if he actually does that, everyone.
I won't. It's coming out tomorrow. I'm not gonna do that. But no, something that is fun. He obviously can't sing. That's like one of the main plot points of the movie. Whenever he sings,
Me for real. He's relatable. That's another reason I liked it. As a young boy who could not sing, but loved to get funky. All right, loved to do a little dance. I was like, I feel seen.
You were a theatre kid as well. That must have stung. I mean, I can't sing either.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know if that inner pain that you do. I guess
born with a passion for the stage, cursed with tone deafness and broken pipes. Unfortunately.
Were you losing out on the singing roles?
I cannot sing, but that does not stop me. All right?
I see.
The amount of times I sing on this podcast, okay. And look, we've all heard it. We know I can't hold a tune, but fucking hell. boy, do I give it a go. All right.
That's what matters, though, isn't it? You got to give it the
It's
gusto.
all about having fun. Yeah, you gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But no, the sound that Mumble makes when he attempts to sing, and then it kind of merges into this penguin cry, is the actual true to life sound of an emperor penguin's mating call.
Yeah,
That bit of fun.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Just George Miller doing a fun thing in a kids movie. Like this penguin loves sex. By the way, these penguins love sex.
They
They're
do love
so
sex.
horny.
They are really fucking horny. These penguins. And there's also like a few like shots and scenes. I think it's just like George Miller having a bit of fun. But like, there's like a few moments where like the penguins will like trip and fall into each other and stuff, and they'll land in these like very like suggestive just for a second or so, but they will land in these like he like bumps into Gloria and they go sliding along the ice, and then they end up in the, like, first of all in like a doggy style position, okay, and then they like fall over again and end up with him with his face between her, like what would be her legs, her thighs and stuff. And like they only last a second, but it's there long enough for you to pick up on it.
Yeah,
okay?
it's like the way I thought about it is it's like the Flash landing in Wonder Woman's boobs if it was funny and not annoying.
Oh yeah, it's not good at all. I wouldn't call it that at all.
No, but it's the same. It's the same gag, but
it's not the same though, because
you're not subjecting
Flash,
two real life people to do that. I guess.
Yes, but also it's not haha.
Boobs.
Yeah, it's not haha woman, you know?
Yes,
it's not haha man has fallen into woman. It's both of them. It's laughing at both of them rather than just one of them.
It's haha
really.
Consensual sex for a second.
Yes. Also, I'd never really picked up on this until I watched it with Catherine the other night, and now she's kind of ruined this movie for me because she pointed out like how, and a lot of animated movies do this, okay, like not so much these days, but definitely in like the 2000s and whatever. Like there's obviously they're animals, they're a species of animals, okay, but some of them are women, all right, so how do we distinguish that these ones are women? Okay, they give them like the shape of breasts and like and like they'll have like markings to indicate like cleavage and the curves and stuff. And she kept pointing that out, and I just could not stop noticing how like busty Gloria is in this movie. Like every time it caught me so off guard. I was just like, oh, she's got massive tits, man. This is insane.
I didn't notice that, but yeah, thanks. I guess by proxy, Catherine. Cheers for that. Now it's all I'm gonna think about.
Yeah, as you rewatch Happy Feet over and over again,
because
you should. You should. Honestly.
Look, this is one of them movies that, like, I still don't know, like, where I stand on it. Like, I'm having a good time talking about it. No, I'm having fun figuring out, like, where you're coming from with it as well. Because again, I cannot stress enough how much it threw me through a loop. Like,
it's amazing. I love it so much. This sequence where Mumble makes his way to like the I don't know what is quite called, but like back to the penguins when they have the heart song and they're trying to find their partners and stuff. And then like it's the scene we just played a little bit there. And then like he starts to dance and they're like, no, go away, you're a cunt or whatever. And then they find the groove and they build up to it. That's my moment. Okay.
Okay.
That's my
nice.
moment. There's one specific moment. Okay. So Gloria's singing her song. Mumble has started to tap, and they get it in a rhythm. They're like, okay, maybe this can work. You know, maybe we can actually bring these two mediums, dance and song, together to form something quite good. And the song builds, and you hear the tippy taps, and they're dancing together.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful. You say your prayer, though you don't care. That's for you to match it up. And then tension. And they come together and they're dancing, and it's so fucking sick, man. I love everything about it. It's amazing. And then you got the little fucking Latino penguins as well. They'll come in a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Chica, 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 chicas, 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 chicas. And then it keeps building. And if that wasn't enough, we get a little... We get a little Spanish rap breakdown.
Yeah.
Fucking sick. At this point, Catherine said, Lin-Manuel Miranda is shaking right now. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. Like, if this movie came out in the last 6 years or whatever, Lin would have been all over this.
Mate, I had the exact thought watching this, right? There is like, I think it might be that specific moment where like it was one of the various Spanish raps.
Yes.
Right. And I was just sat there and I turned to my wife and I was like, there is not a chance they would have kept, like, they would have had to amass an army to keep him out of the fucking recording booth for this.
Yeah. Honestly, the biggest tragedy of this movie is that it came out in 2006 and Lin wasn't like as known as he is or like working like he is today, you know?
Yeah.
He would have been all over this.
He could have done something special with this, to be fair. Like Lin, I know Lin gets his slack, but he's a great composer and he's a fun lyricist.
I think he's great. He could have done something like he would have been all over this like fucking flies around shit, man. It's sick.
I'll tell you what, I do want to quickly talk about as well the a couple of the more serious beats of the movie that I really, really appreciated and like took something away from. Right. I love the insinuation that Mumble he doesn't, like, throughout the movie, he doesn't really look to other people for like happiness or validation. Like there's moments where like Hugh Jackman, his dad, who we can talk about, but like there's moments where he's like, there's something wrong with you, boy, and it's not your fault. And he's like, Dad, I'm literally fine. Like, why are you so weird? I'm fine. Like, I like those moments. I like that he's, throughout the movie, he's kind of like cast aside and like bullied and not included in a lot of things, but he appreciates like kindness when he experiences it, but he's not a character that needs it. And there are various moments where the movie makes the case for like having your own passions and interests, despite other people trying to make you feel like stupid for having them, or like feeling a certain way, right? Like it makes the case that people can be very content with their own simple pleasures in life, and it doesn't always have to match up with what other people think you should do or feel or think. Like I thought that was, like, especially for 2006, quite a progressive message to put out, and especially for a kids movie, that's very nice to see. I know it's not necessarily like breaking new ground, but at the same time, it is weaved really intricately throughout the story. Like, as a character, Mumble is so like passive to the point of like he's content, so he doesn't bother other people. Like, he's never really like, hey man, why are you always picking on me? Because that's uninteresting. You want to see a character that has already achieved happiness. They just want other people to get there too.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think that's definitely a good point. Mumble is, obviously othered quite a bit in this movie. Yeah. He is the other, the one who doesn't quite fit in. What I like about it is that like he is othered, and he is like to the point where he's even forced to like separate from the group entirely and is pushed aside quite a bit. But then he finds this other group, this like the for lack of a better phrase, the Latino penguins.
Yeah, that's what they are. Like, watch the movie.
That's exactly what they are. All right. Who like
he crosses the Antarctic US border essentially.
Exactly, yeah. But they just like instantly accept him. Like it's not even a discussion. It's not even a like fucking you're a weird freak, aren't you? They're like that's strange, but fuck, we love it. You're in, mate. Fucking that's fucking cool, man.
They're gassing him up. They're like, you are fucking I bet you like smash bear. Like
but they like instantly accept him, and he finds this like little group who he can like be himself with and have fun with and stuff as well. And it's like it's just really nice. I really like it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's lovely to see. It's lovely to put out there. The other stuff as well that's really nice, like you mentioned, he is kind of other to the point where he's essentially cast out. That's obviously a nod on like fucking extremist opinions on religion and like this kind of cult aspect that comes with organized
I
religion.
think it's quite a few different things, really. I think some of it's quite clearly a metaphor for a queer sort of.
Yes,
I mean, there is quite like an inherent sort of queerness to this movie, and I think there is themes of definitely, and I think honestly they do go hand in hand. The like kind of religion and the queer themes, really, because obviously they do play a part in like religious extremism will often like cast aside,
a lot of like repent for your sins kind of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And that is definitely a part of this movie. You have the elders and their ways and stuff. They pray to the great Gwyn who provides fish.
It's so fucking silly.
It's great.
Do you know how like George Miller, like, because I've listened to him in some interviews and stuff, right? Like he's an inherently silly person, but like he's a fucking doctor. Like he's like he's a serious professional man, right? Like he understands filmmaking to a finite degree.
Yeah.
Right. But then I just love the idea that he's doing shit like this kind of, he's putting all these serious themes in like a fucking Penguin movie for children. Like this is genuinely, I don't know. I wish he'd handled like, I wish he'd had more of a varied career. It's
pretty varied. I don't think you can get much more varied than going from fucking Happy Feet to Mad Max Fury Road.
No. Look, there's variety there, but it's an awful lot of Mad Maxes. Like,
and I will say, like, often the joke, that is the joke a lot of times.
Yes.
Like, people are like, what, the fucking guy who made Mad Max Fury Road made Happy Feet? That's fucking insane. Watch Happy Feet, all right? Watch Happy Feet, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, I get it now.
There are shades
like, I when I was watching it the other week, like for the first time in quite a while, that whole sequence where Mumble is chased by the sea lion, I think it is. There's like a sea lion. That's like quite a little chase sequence there. There's like a little chase sequence that goes on. And I'm like, okay, I can see some like roots of Mad Max being formed here. I can see some of this where he's like got the taste for it and stuff. Like,
mate, there's quite a lot. Like there's like watching them, I guess, like because I watched them both today, right? And going back to back, not back to back, but like having a couple of hours only in between them. It's quite an interesting experience when you see like the filmmakers' like obvious interests on screen. Like you want to talk about like an oppressive community that's there in both of them. You want to talk about a community being reclaimed by someone that was essentially cast out. Like that's there for both of them. Like there's religious language and critique entrenched in both of these movies quite deeply, and it's very interesting. I think
there's a little penguin who loves to dance in both of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you might have missed him in Mad Max, but he's there.
No, he's there. He's played by Nicholas Hoult.
Oh yes, that's true. Skins alum Nicholas Hoult playing the penguin that dances.
Exactly.
I just want to, before we move on, right, I want to talk about the weird zoo. I like the weird zoo scene.
Is it a zoo?
I don't know. It's very spiritual, I think.
I think it's an aquarium.
Okay, that's what you.
Yeah, I wasn't asking a deep question. I was literally. Doesn't have summers up to a T.
You've had my fucking pants down there, mate. You've made me look a right cunt there.
Fucking pretentious Lawrence really is examining the themes of whether or not it's a zoo or an aquarium.
That's it, isn't it? That's the podcast.
That is the podcast, right?
You get oddly specific about things, and me just wanting to dive way deeper than I need to.
Yeah, if ever there was just a summarization of the podcast, it's that little clip there.
That's really funny. All right, no, I like it. I like that it's when he kind of there's several shots where he's got like a bit of a glow around him when Mumble's there. Like it's very, I think it's very no, I can't think of the word.
Emblematic.
That's the one. Yeah, it's very emblematic of like an afterlife kind of thing. Like it feels very. I don't know, like take him.
Well, they even say, didn't he even say like, "Is this heaven?" or whatever?
Yeah,
as he comes out.
And he's like, it's wherever you want it to be, dude, or whatever.
Dave, he calls him.
Dave. Oh, okay, not dude.
Yeah, he calls him Dave.
But I don't know. I like this, right? I like that there's a very obvious, like, fucking harsh couple of zooms out to Earth and, like, the universe, right? But it is this nice little scene where you are forced to reconcile, like, your place in the world, especially, like, once you're taken out from your community. And I think quite literally put in a box in terms of, like, being put in a cage and being told, like, you mean this, and this is how small you are in the consideration of everything surrounding you, right? Like, I don't know, it's this lovely moment where he's able to find a universal tool to communicate with the human beings, right? Like, throughout this whole movie, he's been unable to speak to people, how, like, they don't get him. They spend the entire movie othering him because they don't understand. And then he finds people that have quite literally been alienated to the point where they call them aliens the whole movie. And then he's like, does a little dance for them. And they're like, we see you now for, like, who you truly are. And that's the universal language that gets accepted. Like, I think that's lovely.
Have you seen that clip of, like, I think it's like the press junket of the Scooby-Doo movie, where you see Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she's like talking about, like, Scooby-Doo, you know, it was a groundbreaking thing. It had all these themes. It introduced children to horror and all these aspects, and this is why he was really groundbreaking. And then it cuts to Freddie Prinze Jr. saying, I mean, he was a talking dog, man, you know? Like, you're saying all this, and I'm just like, I really like when the penguin dances.
But this is you. I'm sure you like this movie because of these reasons, right? Like, do you not agree with what I'm saying about this zoo thing?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Just...
This is your pick, man.
I know, but, like, I'm a simple man, you know? I don't need all this, like, fucking deep analysis shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. I like it. I understand it. I get where you're coming from, but I'm like, at the end of the day, the penguin dances, and I like it quite a lot.
I mean, there are some good penguin dancing sequences.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful, and it makes me want to dance with my little penguin family.
With your little sat on a fun egg or something. Is that what you want to do?
What?
So they're all sitting on their eggs. I like that when they're all shuffling about with their eggs.
They're not sitting on their eggs. All right?
They got them, like, under their feet or whatever.
They're keeping them warm in their little thing. I don't know what it is.
A little warm thing, a little pouch.
Yeah. There's not a pouch.
All right. Do you have any
They're
closing?
not kangaroos.
Oh, I know. Right. Do you have any closing thoughts on Happy Feet?
What do you think of the humans?
Oh, they look weird.
They're just people.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? After a while, I realized they were people, right?
What do you mean after a while?
No, because, like, there's that one shot, the first shot, where you see, like, that man and woman looking through the glass, and I'm like, oh my God, you look really not real.
They are real.
I know they are, but, like, it's because it's like, maybe it's jarring because they're in the movie interacting with an animated thing, and, like, there is this kind of gloss effect over them because they're through a glass pane. So, like, I don't know, at first I just kind of went, oh, and it caught me off guard. But then I like it at the end when they're, like, having a little dance. They're, like, pulling out their cameras to take pictures of everyone dancing. It's a good bit of fun.
There you are.
My wife turned to me. You know when the little girl bangs on the window and Mumble does, like, a fun little dance for her?
Yeah.
My wife turned to me and she said, like, this is the movie that convinced me that, like, I should ignore all the signs in zoos that are like, don't tap on the glass. Because she was like, if I did, maybe some one of them would start dancing or something.
Okay.
I said, what was your success rate for that? And she was like, no, it wasn't anything. I don't want to talk about it.
Brutal.
All right. Should we move along? Should we move along an hour in? This is going to be a longer one. We're doing 2 movies.
No, we can wrap this up.
No, that's not fair.
No, I'm ready for bed.
No.
Anyway, this has been... Oh, we didn't do another happy question.
Oh, we didn't?
Yeah.
That's the rule. We forget. We've got too many segments now. We're going to forget one of them.
Yeah. I don't have a question, I'll be honest.
All right, we're skipping it this week.
We'll skip it this week. But it's back on next week for your question.
Oh, no, come on. That's not very... Should pick up with you.
No, that's how it works.
Wait, who gets the last question then?
If we continue on that trend, it would be you.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. I don't want it.
Well...
Oh.
We'll see. Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
I give it 10 out of 10 penguins. George Miller's masterpiece.
I don't know what I'd give it. I don't know. Follow me on Letterboxd, I guess. I haven't rated it yet.
We don't do rating systems on this podcast.
No, we don't. But you did one, so I was just joining in.
Shut up, Lawrence.
Mad Max Furious Road, Nathan.
Furious Road.
Yeah, the most furious road you've ever seen.
It's not even a road.
No, it's a
There's
big
no
old,
road in this movie. All right.
big old desert.
It's just a big desert. False advertising. 0 out of 10.
Yeah, 0 out of 10. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. I am tentatively apprehensive to ask you how you feel about Mad Max Fury Road, because I think in the past you've said you've enjoyed it, but coming in hot defending Happy Feet, which I think I was, by the way, like, just want to get this in there. I think I discussed that movie at length and quite generously, and I was very keen to hear your thoughts and share my own. That
I
were mostly
haven't
positive.
said anything about Mad Max yet, okay?
I mean, that's not true.
Well,
What do you think about Mad Max Fury Road, Nathan?
I hadn't seen this movie since 2015, I believe.
Okay.
I believe I watched it when it came out. I went to the cinema to see it with my Faja.
What did Carl think?
We both really liked it. We enjoyed it. Liked it quite a lot. And then I remember I bought it on Blu-ray, but I don't think I ever watched it.
I think that's a film thing. Everyone's had this movie on Blu-ray at least once. If you were a physical media guy back in the day.
Yeah, or maybe you still are. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe I'm not anymore. It's awful.
I know you're not.
Too much to
Some
carry
people are.
around. I moved house too many times.
I am with some things. But
Not like...
Not movies, no.
Yeah.
No. But I bet every now and then I'm like, maybe I should. I don't know. Anyway,
Space, man. Takes up so much time.
I know it is. It's so much space. Yeah. And it's annoying. And it's a lot of plastic as well.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's the reason.
I'm environmentally conscious now.
I'm sure you are. Yeah, go on.
I like Happy Feet, all right?
And that's it. That's what you do to put out. We watch a movie from almost 20 years ago.
Recycle. I wash out my jars and my
Everyone
cans.
recycles.
Do you wash out your jars and your cans?
No, I don't do that.
Well, then your recycling is pointless. Okay? No, seriously. Because if you just put in like a fucking
I rinse them out.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. I thought you were like reusing a jar for something else or whatever.
Oh, I do sometimes. Yeah, I'll reuse a jar.
Oh, I'm not doing that. Can't be.
I have to reuse a jar and use them as glasses. Like I'll put a bit of water in this. Have a
That's
little glass.
ingenious.
It's not that. It's pretty simple. it's just water in a jar, mate.
Tell me more of your ideas.
It's been done before. I think, you know?
I've never heard of that. That's quite cool. But yeah, no, I wash out like if I had like a can of Coke, I'll wash it out before I put it in the recycling. Yeah, cool. I'm not a heathen.
I'm not washing out a can of Coke. You fuck off with that.
Oh,
shit.
you're
But
the heathen then.
But like a pasta sauce, but a can of Coke will get recycled regardless. But like you have like a pasta sauce or like beans or something like that, you can't just throw that in the recycling. You gotta rinse it out. Otherwise, your whole thing won't be recycled.
Yeah, bean juice.
It just goes in the landfill then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well. There you
Yeah,
go.
so
Recycle
there you
your
go.
beans.
Anyway, what was you saying?
What do you think of Fury Road?
I think it's fine.
Oh.
I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's not as good as Happy Feet. All right, it's no Happy Feet. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
it's pretty good. Yeah, I struggled with it a little bit because like there was nothing to connect with in terms of like the main character is kind of intentionally a blank slate, really, and he's like just a sort of a wild animal with like. I think he has like fucking like 10 lines in the movie or something.
Yeah.
And like he mostly just grunts and gruffs, and you really like don't get much of a sense of like his personality or motivations or anything like that. So I kind of like struggled to connect with it on that level. It just like, and I know that's kind of the point. I know like it's supposed to be this like, you know, wild tale of this like Roman madman sort of thing, and you're like, and it's like intentional that he's just there's not necessarily a whole lot to him, you know, is this like silent hero sort of thing. I know that's the point, but that doesn't change the fact that like I still can't connect with nothing, you know. I can't connect with a blank canvas, really. So yeah, but I enjoy it. I think it looks great for the most part. There's like one shot at the end which looks like fucking dog shit, but
What shot? What was that?
the shot where like the war party like blows up and everything starts flying towards the camera, and it looks like a shot from like a 3D movie from 2002. It looks like fucking Spy Kids 3D for a second.
I think I know the one you mean. Yeah.
And like the fucking steering wheel is like flying at the camera and stuff. It looks awful, man.
Yeah, look, I know what you mean. I don't know. Well, please do finish unless you hadn't.
Yeah, I like it for the most part. I think it's quite simple in its storytelling, but I think that works in its benefit. It looks good whenever it's in daylight. There's a lot of night for day shooting on this, which I think looks dog shit as well, just because I personally don't like night for day shooting, because I think it just never works for me. You can always tell, and
you can tell,
absolutely.
You
can always tell, and it just doesn't look good at all, I think. But yeah, I like it. It's fine.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
I think this...
It's no Happy Feet, right?
For fuck's sake.
Which is evident in the fact that it didn't win Best Animated Feature. But...
Look, maybe the way I'll get you to understand this, I guess, from my perspective, is this is my Incredibles, right?
The Incredibles is your Incredibles.
This is my other Incredibles.
You can't have two The Incredibles,
no,
right?
I can.
You get one. No, you get one.
You get one Incredibles.
This is the way the world works.
Fun, impenetrable Nougat references from us. Good stuff.
I think that was that impenetrable. That was pretty popular.
You can go. Oh, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, people like Jake Johnson quite a lot.
Yeah,
he's a fun guy. See, have you heard of Mank? Apparently, he's in a show called Mank.
Mank, as in Manchester.
Maybe it's not Mank. No, Mank is a David Fincher movie.
All right.
Never mind.
I'm thinking of rewatching all of Shameless, a show which I don't think I ever finished. The UK version, that is.
Never watched Shameless, but I know that Chef is in it.
Who's Chef?
Chef the Bear. Chef Bear.
Oh, it's probably the American Shameless. I'm talking about British Shameless.
Oh, I definitely didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Tune in.
Great. James McAvoy's in it.
Oh, I like James McAvoy a lot.
A young James McAvoy. I think it was his first role.
Was this pre-Mr. Tumnus?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Wow.
I literally just said it was his first role, I think.
But I thought Mr. Tumnus was his first role.
No, well, you're wrong.
I was just establishing a timeline here. A Tumnus timeline, if you will.
Great.
All right, look. I've waited too long to talk about Mad Max. We're talking about Mad Max, right?
We'll see you next week, folks.
No. I really, really like this movie, and I'm not. You know this.
Why?
Because right, I'm not a Mad Max guy. I think you can get into this movie by just like turning
by
it
the way,
on.
This is the only Mad Max movie I've seen.
That works. I think this works. Like,
I've
is there
seen
anything
no
you didn't
other Mad
get
Max
from it?
movies? Yeah, quite a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new stuff to this. Like, this is kind of its own beast.
Is there anything you didn't get? As if they're just like, oh yeah, they explain all this lore. Fuck off. They don't explain shit. And I think, that works in the movie's favor.
Yes,
but they don't explain shit. Like,
I think on that, I guess, right? I think this is a world that, like, you don't need to understand it fully to get it. Like, it's kind of universal in the sense that, like, you've got Immortan Joe, who's essentially just a warlord. He's essentially the fucking king of the land, right? Like, that's a very universal thing in this kind of almost Trumpian way of this, like...
Oh, bloody, here he goes.
No, but like this showboaty...
Woke Max over here.
No, in this kind of showboaty way, like he's wearing a big mask, like he's got a muscle padded armor plate on to conceal that he's kind of just like bloated and diseased.
Everyone's so gross in this movie.
So gross. Yeah.
Everyone's so gross. Just a lot of gross old Australian men. And like one of them's wearing a suit, but he's got his nipples cut out and then he's got little tassels on his nipples. He's got like nipple chains on. And then there's just one old dude covered in bullets, and it's just a lot of old Australian, not even blokes, some are women as well, just a lot of old, very dry-skinned Australian people who like look like they just need a shower, you know?
I like that about this. I appreciate that everyone looks.
There you bloody
filthy.
going, mate. There you bloody going. He's bloody driving the Warwick, mate.
If
bloody
there is
hell.
anyone that has a beard in this movie, it is like matted and disgusting. Like, this must have been the worst getting ready process. Like, can you imagine having to sit like this all day in the fucking... I think they filmed this in Africa, right? In an African desert heat.
Yeah.
Like, fucking nuts to do that. But
yeah,
I have to respect it. Look, I want to kind of know what you liked about this, because you're saying like it's still mostly like you had a good time with it.
Just one big car chase, really, isn't it?
It's a good car chase, very good.
It's
it's the
just-
whole movie basically.
Yeah, they spend like 3/4 of the movie driving to one place, and then they just turn around and go back, and that's just the whole movie, basically.
Do you need more? Like,
Yeah, I need some more. Yeah, I
what do
think-
you think is missing?
I think a main character with motivations and stuff. Like Max is just nothing. There's nothing to him.
I would
And
agree.
again,
Yeah.
yes, that's the point. But like,
I think there's more. I think it's limited, like you say, intentionally so. Mad.
water.
No, he is kept at arm's length from the audience, but I also think there is this kind of element of like it's a like when you first see him in the first shot, he's like bearded up and long haired to fuck, right? He's like obviously been by himself for a while, or like alone.
He's
on
Mad
the road.
Max.
He's Mad Max. Well, exactly, right? A character famous for just going from location to location, never really connecting or
Is
sailing.
he? I don't know what he's famous for.
Well,
I
this
don't know
is on
anything
you.
about him. All right, I don't know anything about him. Is
right.
that on me? Am I supposed to come to the movie knowing that?
I would say that there's probably some level of Mad Max. Like the movie, you don't need a lot, but like to know who Mad Max is culturally as a character would be good.
I don't think so. Movies should not have required reading. You can't put that on me.
Case in point, the entire MCU, and as you've many times said, if you're
I'm
not
not
on
here
board at this
defending
point,
the
that's on
MCU.
your fault.
I'm not here defending the MCU. Okay.
All right. I think you've used that line
And
of
I think-
thinking
I
effectively
think-
before.
I think there's a difference between like watching the fucking 18th movie in a franchise, okay, which is heavily serialized, okay,
Yeah.
and then watching that one for the first time without watching any others and going, I don't understand anything, rather than watching the fucking third or fourth movie in a franchise which is largely unrelated and everyone is different and just has their own vibes. I think those are two different things.
You may
really.
have me there.
Yeah.
You may have made some valid points, which I will concede on. Yeah. All right. Fine. I do think you're given enough to be let in. Like I think with Max, right? There's this idea that like he spends when he first meets Furiosa. He's got a gun to like Immortan Joe's wives. Like he's very offensive. He's very like scrappy and just out to survive. And then by the end of it, he actually goes back into the line of fire, despite trying to escape from it the whole movie, to like see this out. Like I do think he gained some level of like of regained faith in humanity by the end of it. It's subtle and it's like
fucking tell us, show us. Like
I think the line is because
I-
he's always been a character of few words, but the line like he doesn't say he's Max until like the last 10 minutes of the movie, and that's
Yeah.
him finally being like I've remembered who I am, as opposed to this animal that I was before.
yeah, but like I don't know.
I'm coming at
Does
this
that,
unfairly.
like-
I love this movie.
Does that excuse the fact that for 90% of the movie he's a blank slate who just grunts and does nothing? And don't get me wrong, he grunts in a good way. Tom Hardy is good at just doing a grunt. He looks quite young in this, and he wasn't that young, which is surprising, but he looks surprisingly young. Maybe I'm just used to him in Venom where he looks old and gross, but like
Oh yeah, he looks odd in Venom. Yeah, I've never seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the third Venom, but I've seen that clip where it's the Maroon 5 needle drop, and he's like, "I won't forget you, buddy." Or
I haven't seen that. I don't
whatever
know what that
voice
is.
he's doing in that movie.
I don't know. I haven't seen that. I don't
What
know.
voice is he doing in this movie? Because it's not Australian. It is for the start of it, and then it's
What
not
a-
Australian.
I don't know. He doesn't speak long enough for me to fucking figure anything out. He says like one word at a time. He just
There's
goes,
one point where he
"Order."
goes, "I'm so sorry," and it's not
I'm so
Australian, but
sorry.
it's nothing else either.
I don't know what kind of voice he's doing. Nicholas Hoult, I think, is attempting an Australian accent, but it doesn't do a good job, really.
No.
Is all the dialogue ADR'd in this?
Most of the stuff in the cars, yes, yeah.
Because you can tell, and it's
Yeah.
bad.
No, I think it's good, and I think it's like
I think it's weird and it doesn't fit. And I think that's kind of the point, because I think, George Miller is going for this kind of like old-fashioned sort of vibe. So it's like I think this is probably one of those where he's like gone for like a silent movie kind of thing where you don't need to hear it to understand it. I think it kind of helps, but whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fucking dialogue doesn't necessarily matter, I think, but like, I don't know, I'd at least like to hear it and it'd be good, I think.
I do see what you mean. I think it's an acquired taste. I think a lot of the filmmaking practice in this is an acquired taste. Like,
Mediocre.
just speaking about weird like shit in this that is kind of a bit unusual, right? Did you notice that at like several random points the footage is like sped up to like 1.5?
Yeah, and there's frames missing as well.
There's frames missing,
points.
and there's also that's speed ramping, but there's also this thing where they increase the frame rate, so sometimes things get real smooth, and then they go back to like I'd imagine standard like 30 FPS, right?
Yeah,
I think
24.
all of that.
I believe 24. Movies are shot in 24 FPS, I believe.
Are they 24?
I think so. Yeah, I think film is shot in 24 FPS.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Or maybe I'm coming at it from like game perspective. Yeah. I don't know. I like 60 FPS because it makes my animations look smoother when I edit videos.
But like 60 FPS for film is like a fucking nightmare though. Like you watch a film in 60 FPS and you're like, I don't like it. Like that was famously what went wrong with The Hobbit. Like everyone was like fucking throwing up in the cinema watching it. They're like, it's gross. I can't stand it.
Why can I see every single detail of movement? I don't like it. It's too much.
Yeah, film is shot in 24 frames per second.
Okay, all right. But look, I kind of like that he pushes the boat out and goes for some weird things, right? Because inherently what's on the screen is weird. Like you said, you got old Australian guys with their nipples out with weird little tassels. Like, it's an unusual film.
Yeah,
that's what they say. But it's an odd film, and I really appreciate that. Like, it's just going for something so different. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a film before this or since this that has this feel to it that just feels fucking weirdly strange the whole way through. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you welcome those like kind of weird practices or not?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because I think it like I don't even think there's never a right or wrong opinion, but like it.
I don't mind the sped up shit and the like. I guess that just adds to like the visual style of it and stuff, which for the most part is quite good and I enjoy. Like I don't like any of the Night for Day stuff, like I say, because I think it just looks. It's not to my taste, I'll say.
Sure.
And some of the like the CG at the end is a little wonky and stuff, but yeah, I think mostly it looks good.
Do you this movie was for so long
that shot of Furiosa when she like falls to her knees on the fucking in the desert, that's a beautiful shot.
That is a beautiful shot. That works in hand with Blade Runner 2049 in 2017 that cultivated the good cinematography is When Yellow meme, which I quite enjoy.
Okay.
But no,
isn't it more orange?
More orange, but like those kind of hues and tones, like the yellowy orange kind of backdrop on a lot of those movies, as people were like, "Whoa!" Like people lost their mind for that shit back in the day.
Yeah.
But no, it looks. There are some moments in this that look like spectacular. I think I won't bore anyone, but like I can go into a whole thing about the editor on this and like how it was approached because I find it fascinating. Right, like about a year ago, I watched like it wasn't like a proper documentary, but someone on YouTube had compiled a lot of behind the scenes, and it was like fascinating to see that process play out.
I might regret this, but go on.
I'll give you the Sparks Notes version. All right,
no, you go on. You can talk about
it. So Margaret Sixel edited this. Right, she's George Miller's wife. There's a fun
and a person in her own right as well.
And a person in her own right, but I'm just sharing their connection, which is relevant to this, right? And George Miller specifically asked her, and I found this out through Caravan of Garbage when I edited.
Bloody woke Max.
No. Shut up. I found this out through Caravan of Garbage, right? Editing that George Miller asked her to edit the movie because he made a point of saying, if I hire someone else or like a more generic choice, like a studio approved choice of this guy has edited loads of action movies in the past, right? He said that he's really worried that the beauty will get lost, and there is an aspect of this film that like is searching out for a better life and searching out for the green place, right, which unfortunately doesn't come to fruition. But like this idea that they're trying to escape hell, and in doing so they find little beautiful human moments along the way. And he was like, if I don't let you edit this, because she has such an understanding of where he wanted to go with the story, because they're probably just fucking talking about it at home. Like, he was like, you get it, and I need you to edit this. And the way she approached this was by kind of like first and foremost thinking every single moment of violence can be depicted as brutal as it needs to be. But if it is done by one of our heroes, i.e. Max or Furiosa, right, it comes from a place of effective tactical beauty. Like she wanted to communicate this idea that they have honed a craft and a skill, and that skill just happens to be survival through very violent means, but they're effective and good at it, and it's by far and away not as chaotic as the War Boys, who are just scrambling and chaotic. And I think
it is quite good. Yeah, it definitely does come across. I do like how, like, at first Max and Furiosa are quite at odds, really, and they don't gel together, they don't work together well, but once they start, like, there's a moment where they start, like, getting into a rhythm and shooting down all the War Boys and shit, and, like, actually working together, where it just works out better and it starts to flow a lot better for them. I think that's a really good moment in the movie.
Yeah, that's one of that specific scene is one of my favorite fucking scenes. Right.
Yeah.
And it's weird to say scene, like this movie kind of isn't just like 3 big scenes. But at the same time, I don't know, I think that specific moment where like the music is swelling and the bikes are jumping over the war rig and like Furiosa is just taking sniper shots through the sunroof. And like the wives are reloading a gun for her, Max is driving. Like I think it just all comes together in this really like, that's the moment where you go like, okay, I'm locked in. These two are on the same side. It's now become good versus evil rather than a bunch of morally grey characters trying to do shady shit to survive. Like, I don't know. I that's the moment I really locked in for this.
I don't know if it became good versus evil at that point.
I would call Max better than Immortan Joe. No.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I don't think I'm not necessarily convinced at that point Max is the beacon of good and will do anything to save these women and Furiosa. I think I don't want to die at the hands of these fucking War Boys. So yes, I will work with these people to get out of here. You know?
I know. I think I'm more coming at it from like this melding of like effectiveness. They work together as a team and they're suddenly instantly more effective rather than him like holding a gun to one of them the entire time being like, pass me water, pass me the wheel or whatever. Like,
do you not think this movie needs like a penguin dancing?
Well, we established this earlier. He's in it. Nicholas Hoult does it.
Not enough.
At one point.
Not enough.
I really like this. I want to hear more from you. What do you think?
Is Tom Hardy a good actor?
This has been a question that's plagued me for a while.
Yeah, because like I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's always doing a weird voice, first of all.
Yeah.
You think the darkness is your whatever he's mumbling. Like, I was watching that scene when he was, like, mumbling through whatever 4 lines of dialogue he had when he had to, like, transfuse his blood to Furiosa. And he just, like, I don't know, he does, like, weird little shakes all the time, and he looks like... I'm like, is this intentional choices or like, is he good? And because I've also seen Venom, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
We saw Venom, buddy.
it's hard to place it because he's good in some stuff.
Yeah,
but then I don't know. You know,
I think Tom Hardy needs a good director to bring it out of him, and I think George Miller is a good director. But I also think that.
Yeah.
I like you've kind of already said throughout this movie, Mad Max was the last thing on his mind making Fury Road.
Yeah.
He went, I need a guy that looks good in stubble and wears a nice leather jacket. And that's about it.
That's probably the best way to describe it. He is kind of an afterthought to the movie, really.
Yeah.
Like, anyone could be Mad Max, I think.
Which I, not to be wanky, but that does tie into how he's always tried to tell the story of Mad Max. Mad Max is a campfire story and a mythos told. Like, that's how they also excuse this is not Mel Gibson. Also, he looks 30 when he should be like 70 in terms of the timeline.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care about any of that, but that is, George Miller has always said, like, Mad Max is, any film of Mad Max, you need to picture it as if it's being told from the perspective of a little kid telling another little kid the story.
You're right. That was wanky, and I won't excuse it.
Tom Hardy, look, I think you're right. There are some twitchy moments, and I have a fun story about that. Right? Because several points there are moments where Tom Hardy flinches.
Yeah,
and they cut in like you could have saved me, Tom Hardy, but now I'm dead and I'm a vision or a ghost or whatever. Right?
Oh, his Australian daughter or whatever.
Yeah. So they're just I don't really. I mean, I get it, but it's my least favorite aspect of it. Is they are the people that Mad Max has not been able to save. They're the people that he lost. It's a common misconception that's his daughter. It's not. But it's those are the people that he should have saved or whatever, which is why, when they all run it in with like their hands out and they're like, there's loads of us or whatever. Yeah, they're all those people. But there are several moments.
We didn't get any chance to connect with the main character of this movie in any way that we could have communicated, any sort of.
It depends on who you think the main character is, because I don't think it's Mad Max.
It's literally called fucking Mad Max.
Yeah, I know it's called Mad Max, but that doesn't necessarily always. It's a franchise thing, right?
It's not called fucking. I don't know.
There are fun moments where Mad Max does flinch, and those were moments that Tom Hardy has expressed. I thought they would put in those flashbacks at those moments. And again, another reason I really like Margaret Sixel. She's more than happy to stitch you up in an acting wise if she's like, it doesn't make sense for the story for them to be in this moment, so that no, they're not there. Tom Hardy flinched in the take. I can't do anything about it. Like it's just the moment of like Tom Hardy going like, I'll give you one for the editors, and the editor very much going, I'll make my own fucking mind up. Thanks, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
So that would explain those. What do you think of the performances in this?
I don't think they're good.
Okay, right. Do tell, because I disagree wholeheartedly.
Charlize Theron is incredibly wooden, I think, in this movie.
No.
I think there's again, like, you just said, like, oh yeah, who is the main character of the movie? And I think if you're hinting at Furiosa, I don't think it's much better. I don't think I think she's less of a blank fucking slate, but because she is explored more than Max, I think, and she has like more of a character, but it's still like quite. It's not quite meaty enough. It's still a lot of that same just sort of stoic and generic for quite a lot of it, without really seeing much of a personality, only in like fucking little hints and stuff at them, really. I've found Charlize Theron to be quite wooden throughout this movie, really.
I totally see where you're coming from with Tom Hardy.
I think some of it is the accent as well. Really, I think, like, I don't know, I kind of found it weird that, like, everyone was Australian apart from her, really.
It's tough, because there is a reason for that she's from somewhere else that isn't, it's part of the wasteland, but it's a very aesthetically different part of the wasteland. It's like those penguins that are in Mexico, Antarctica.
Oh, okay. So this is a Robin Williams moment.
Yes, essentially. You can see more George Miller influence here. But no, right. I agree wholeheartedly with your criticisms on Mad Max. I do think that there is an aspect of the movie that could have used a bit more to chew on, right, with him. But I disagree with Charlize Theron, right? Because I think Furiosa, yes, she's a hard-edged character, and yes, she's kind of solemn and stern and a bit tough to read in parts, but I do think there is a vulnerability to her, and I do think that she is quite emotive in a more subtle way. Like, Charlize Theron is a very talented actor, and I think that, like, having a lot of close-ups, especially like dark paint around her eyes and having a lot of close-ups on her eyes that are, to me, very expressive, and I think you can ascertain her vulnerable side through her actions, how she chooses to, she's out there fucking murdering people, but she's also like, I'm doing this to prove I'm more than just a ruthless killer. Like, I'm after some redemption. I want to do the right thing. Yeah, she quite literally says at one point, I'm looking for redemption.
For what?
For doing all the bad shit that she did when she was with Immortan Joe, being his head honcho.
What bad shit did she do?
Well, she was like his chief driver. The War Boys all trusted her as like a commander. So it's pretty clear that, I don't know specifics, but it's pretty obvious that throughout.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, can we not explore that a little bit? Like,
I don't think
rather
it's needed.
than just It's fucking tell don't show, isn't it? It's just and tell in the fucking smallest little aspects where you could easily miss it, you know?
I think this movie comes in at the end of her story, and I think you are left to ascertain what's happened beforehand. But I think the movie does do a good job at communicating. She quite literally says the line, like, it's not a subtle line. If anything, I'd say it's probably a bad line, where she says, "I'm after redemption." Like, that's why I'm doing this. So I think I don't know. I think you can tell.
But is that enough though? That's what I'm saying. Like, is it not? Maybe do we not want that to be explored? I personally, I know I do. I would like that to be explored a little bit more. Really.
I don't know. I suppose I see what you're saying, but I think I'm coming at it from the perspective of she's regarded as this guy's number one driver, and these are the guys that are like enslaving women for like breeding purposes, and also like picking up a stillborn baby and just walloping it on the table like it's not a dead human being. Like, they're pretty monstrous individuals, and I think her having been working in close proximity and how much disgust she obviously has for the War Boys, like, I think it does enough. I see what you mean with tell don't show, but I also think throughout the movie her actions reveal a past that is obviously there. So I kind of think it's this weird thing where they tell us and then they show us retroactively in a way.
They show us retroactively in Mad Max Furiosa. A Mad Max.
No, you haven't seen that movie, so don't try and pretend you know what happens.
But I assume it's about all this shit, though. I assume it's about, like, when she gets to the green place and just delivers, not the green place, but whatever, when she gets to the women, and then she delivers her exposition backstory for, like, a minute or whatever. I assume it's about all that shit.
Yeah, there's more to it than that, but yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's a crux of it, yeah. But,
Bingo.
But it's a good movie, to be fair. Interesting. Very. I think you would like Furiosa more than you like this, based on what your criticisms of this are.
I never will watch it.
You should watch it. Why would you do this?
I'm probably going to watch it tonight, to be honest.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious how you take it, because I do think Furiosa is more character-focused like this one isn't. I won't say any more about it, but I think
maybe I like Anya Taylor-Joy better than Charlize Theron, because... Yeah, wasn't a fan.
Fair enough. Anya Taylor-Joy is good in it. Very, very good in it.
Anya Taylor-Joy is rarely not good in things.
It's so true. She's very good. Talented.
And is she British? I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. Like, is she British or American? What's going on? Maybe
Nathan,
she's Spanish as well. There's another fucking wrench thrown in the works. There's all kinds of shit going on. Right?
You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to speculate. That's part of the intrigue. That's part of the mystery of her.
Right, okay.
But performance-wise, I do want to talk about Nicholas Hoult. Right, a lot of people would say
Nicholas
that.
Hoult.
Yeah, a lot after like Warm Bodies, a lot of people would say that this is the role that made bigger name directors take more notice of him.
How dare you slander Skins?
All right, I'm talking movie-wise.
Skins is what, and first, not even Skins. About a Boy is what put Nicholas Hoult on the map. He was the boy in About a Boy.
I know he was the titular boy in About a Boy, right? But I'm saying, as a working adult actor. He was taken quite seriously after this movie. And George Miller...
What about, when did X-Men? Was he in X-Men before this, or was X-Men after this?
X-Men, he first showed up in X-Men in 2011.
Oh, it was way before this.
Yeah, it was way before this, but again, like, this was what made,
a big movie.
No, more quote
Jennifer Lawrence was in it.
Fuck's sake. All right, yes, fine.
He was blue.
Fuck me. What do you think of Nicholas Hoult in this movie?
Accent is bad, but I quite like Nicholas Hoult in this movie. I think he does a good performance, and along with the redheaded bride, I don't know what that is, but like
no one, don't feel bad. No one knows any of their names.
The one that's not Zoe Kravitz or Rosie Huntington Wiley or the other one. Okay, the redheaded one. You know.
I know the one you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I think those two were a good little match. I quite liked their storyline and vibe. Really, they were quite cute, and I did like the running theme, not the running theme, I guess, but the little moment of like of Nux like finding his place, like being sort of like being like a radicalized believer in this, like, you know, this false god or this like weird sort of extremist sort of cult, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
This Immortan Joe's like war boys and this, you know, and it also almost Viking like culture when he's like, I'll carry you into Valhalla and all this stuff. I like how he falls from that. He like sees the flaws and is like, because he is a devoted believer and stuff, but then he's shown the flaws in it, and I like the sort of like running theme of him helping the women and bringing them back home and stuff, like he was originally tasked to do, but in a different way as well. And then at the end, I think it's really sweet how like it's kind of like he's put his faith in her rather than in Immortan Joe at the end with that, when he like tells her to witness him as he like sacrifices himself and stuff. I think that's all really good. That's probably some of the best part of the movie for me personally.
I would agree. A lot of people say that Nicholas Hoult is like the life of this movie, like the soul.
What a day! What a lovely day!
What a lovely day indeed. Yeah, it's I have nothing else to say on him. He kind of smashed it all, right? Like this, it's lovely. His not even necessarily redemption arc. His come to the light moment where he realizes that his faith has been utterly misplaced.
Yeah,
and how he works to correct that is absolutely lovely. And I like before that as well, when he's like kind of just being like, he's doing everything he can to get killed until he realizes, oh, maybe my life's actually worth something. But like before that, he's like, what if I get close to Furiosa and I almost stab her? And then like it takes like 20 people constantly being like, stop trying to kill him. He might be all right, actually. But that's really fun. Would you like to hear me go on my George Miller is a devoted feminist rant?
I mean, I think that's clear from the movie.
It's like, I love it.
I don't know if I need you, Lawrence, to explain feminism to me. But,
no, but I do think it's an integral part of the movie. Look, I'm not here to be the poster boy for it, right? I understand that's probably not my place.
I do remember at the time this came out, there was a bit of a fucking woke Mac sort of pushback against it. Like,
was there?
Not to the extent you'd get today, but there was a bit of like fucking bloody feminism, bloody there's women Max and all this sort of shit about it. Like,
oh my god,
yeah, there was a bit of that back then.
Grow up, fucking grow up, man. Like,
yeah,
it's a phenomenal aspect of this movie that I would think almost would catch some people off guard, like, because this movie opens up and aside from Furiosa, the only women in this movie are like. You are like it's a line of women breastfeeding, and then it's also 5 women in the back of a truck going, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do anything. We've been taken, we were wives, we're trying to be liberated. We hate that guy, but we don't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
And the movie kind of disarms you in the sense that like you go, oh my god, this must be the impossible task of dragging 5 incapable women in the back of a car. Like, but by the end of it. It very much leans into full tilt of like, no, they're the future, like Immortan Joe always wanted them to be, but not in that weird fucking perverted and fucked up egocentric way. They are the people that care about natural life on Earth. They care about the prospect of their children having a life that isn't this horrendous future that was in front of them prior. Like, they care about planting seeds that will eventually grow for hopefully a generation they'll never ever get to see, but years down the line they could restore what was once a world filled with beauty as opposed to just a world filled with hatred. Like, I love the ending of this movie, which is a lot of people refer to as the Women Inherit the Earth movie, or ending of the movie, which is where essentially Max goes, there it is, take it, and they rise up, and it's clear that Immortan Joe's reign has ended, and they are there now they're there now to like distribute the wealth back to the people and to run shit better than ever was. Like, I think it's very, very inspiring and touching.
How'd he get off that platform?
He didn't get on the platform.
He did get on the platform. There's a clear shot of him on the platform as it's rising up.
Did he get on the platform?
He was on the platform.
I mean, he probably just got off it, didn't he?
Bad movie.
As if I'm like, what do you think of the feminism? And you're like, oh, Mad Max is not on the platform, actually.
I don't know. I like the feminism. I don't know what you want me to say.
I just want to talk about it. I understand it's not new ground I'm breaking, but like, it is an interesting thing.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it is definitely like there's it's I don't know, it's not surprising though, because at no part am I watching the movie being like maybe there's themes of feminism in this movie. It's like a fucking course there is. There's like it's a bunch of fucking old ladies and young brides who team up to fucking kill a bunch of misogynistic old cultist men. All right,
yeah.
Of course it is. It's like it's not subtle, but it's good. You know,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. I enjoy it, and I think all those old women are pretty fucking sick as well.
Oh, that
Shame,
sniper one.
shame most of them died. You know.
Yeah, kind of sad, but I also like the implication there that it's rather than just passively existing in the desert, mourning the green place, they can give their life in service of getting a new generation, a younger generation, to carry the mantle. Like, I like that.
What's going on with those cunts on stilts?
I don't know what their vibe is, but I kind of like them.
See, it's just that. It's just never touched on. It's just like, we're bloody on these stilts. We're bloody walking around, mate. Bloody.
There's loads of weird shit, though,
we're in
like
this
that.
bloody marshland, you know? But
One thing that I think about, whilst I do think the world building in this movie is incredible, I wonder what people without cars do in this world.
die, I guess.
Yeah, just die. Wait
die.
by the waterfall and hope it turns on today.
Well, Max has a car at the beginning, and then he just immediately like fucks it and gets it like taken from him.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, there's kind of like a running thing with him like trying to get his car back throughout the movie. Really, not really, but like it's touched upon a few times. He's
He
like,
gets
"That's
in
my
it
bloody
like
car!
twice. Yeah.
That's my bloody car!" And then like at the end, I think there's a moment where we see like the other rider in his car, like coming up behind him, but then they just destroy it. They're like, "Fuck you." I
Yeah.
guess it's like symbolic of like his old life or whatever. I don't know. I don't care.
It probably, I just like the little face he pulls, like, my fucking car.
His bloody car. I had some pennies in the little tray.
Yeah, I don't know. I really, really like it. I like the there's several little moments that I think are really fun. One of my favorites being he gets in the car with the big nipple king guy, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he like gets in his car and just twats him with the butt of a gun, so he passes out. Right.
Yeah.
And this caught me off guard because I've watched this movie so many times, but today I watched it and I went, why doesn't he just kick him out the car? Because he's not dead. And then
Use
the
him
movie,
as shield.
yeah, and then that's when the movie immediately went, you're wrong. He's a better survivor than you because he uses him as a human fucking shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's so many moments. Like another great moment I like is they shoot like a fucking lampoon through the steering wheel, and then when it comes off, Furiosa goes, "No worries, just attaches a wrench." Like you get to thinking like she must have done this so many fucking times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a really lived in world like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
With those
It
little
is a very lived in world. That's like you are right about it, the world building and stuff. This feels like George Miller has figured out the world and all the lore and all the little fucking towns and cults and shit, and you're just dropped right in the fucking middle of it, really. Because like, yeah, they're talking about like, you know, the Bullet Farm and Gas Town and all this sort of shit, and you see these like fucking wild characters show up. Like, I assume that cunt's from Bullet Town, the one who like is covered in bullets, I guess, and is like, and then he becomes.
Where did you
gets
get that
blind.
impression?
Yeah, so. And then he like fucking becomes blind and just starts like calling himself the fucking Statue of Justice or whatever. Like he's got the scales of justice as he's just firing off his fucking Uzis or whatever.
Yeah.
That weird cunt. And like there's so many just like oddball characters who like it almost feels kind of Star Wars-esque in that sense. Like
Yeah.
there's like every character, there's like a story and a book or whatever. Like, but only those stories and books don't physically exist. They're all just in George Miller's head or on a whiteboard somewhere. You know?
Yeah, if you're lucky in an interview, he'll reveal who the character of the Doof Warrior is, which is the character that plays
What's the-
guitar.
That's my favorite character.
That man's
sick.
epic.
That's sick, man. Yeah, isn't he blind?
Yeah, something to that effect. Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
big
he's
teeth.
blind. He's just playing guitar. Yeah,
Yeah.
good on him.
Good on him, indeed. There's some. Funny you bring up George Lucas, right? Because there's a lot of similarities here. I think there's a lot of
I
stuff.
think I did. I didn't bring up George Lucas. I brought up
bring up-
Star Wars.
All right, but like,
Yeah, I know.
shut up. This Also, famously, George Lucas hired his wife at the time to edit the movie, Marsha Lucas, to edit Star Wars, and she's...
A lot of dudes just hiring their wife to edit movies.
Yeah, good,
just
good.
fucking edit this movie, you know?
I need my wife to make
I'll
movies
be
so
at
she
the
can...
pub. I'll be at the, you edit this, I'll be at the pub.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Never mind the kids.
I'll be at the pub with the lads. You edit this.
But I
Also, it's the 70s, so maybe you have to do it with scissors and glue or whatever.
yeah, and I stick it all together. Like,
Yeah.
and if I come in drunk, you just have to fix it later or something.
You know, women's work. Editing
Women's-
a movie.
Yeah, that's so obviously famously Marsha Lucas was like largely praised as like she kind of zeroed
She
in
saved.
Star Wars.
She saved Star Wars.
Yeah. So that's the thing. George Miller was inspired by George Lucas's approach to Star Wars being a story that you could largely tell with little dialogue. As you've noticed, he attempted it quite a lot in Fury Road. And I think he gets a lot closer than George Lucas does with The Phantom Menace, if I'm honest, being a dialogue-free movie.
Whoa.
No. You agreed with me. Phantom Menace is not a movie that is designed to be watched as a silent movie, no matter how much George Lucas tries to tell me it is. That is an impenetrable movie without dialogue.
It's true.
Yeah. And I like The Phantom Menace. I'm just saying it doesn't do what he thinks it does.
You can't watch the Phantom Menace without hearing such great epic lines as Misa Sir Jar Jar Binks. Misa, your humble servant.
Well, how would you know who he's, sir?
Exactly. I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
I love it. So many lines in that movie that could just... You don't need them. And he's like, this could be
You
designed to
do
work.
need them, all right? Just because, look, none of this shit, all right? Just because you don't need it doesn't mean it should be cut, all right?
Yeah.
That's fucking cowards, all right? Cowards who do that. Put more bad lines in your movie, all right?
But yeah, so there's a few, and obviously the last Lucasy thing is like the very fleshed out world that is like
Yes.
seemingly kind of only for at least a while probably exists only in George Miller and George Lucas's mind.
You ever played the video game?
No, I've seen various clips and I think it looks okay, but I'm not that interested in it.
It was free on PlayStation Plus for a little while, so I downloaded it, and then I played like an hour of it, and I just couldn't get into it. I was like, it's fucking boring, man.
Is the
And then
driving
I,
really
like,
slow? It looks slow.
I don't think so. No, I don't think it was necessarily the driving. I was just
Okay.
I couldn't get into it. I found it really boring, really tough to get into. But then I like saw some posts about it, and people say it's fucking amazing. Like they really love this Mad Max game. Everyone who talks about it, like they really fucking love it. They say it's a really fucking good game. But
Oh wow.
I don't know. Maybe I need to give it more of a chance. But yeah, I just couldn't get into it really.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It kind of looked like. I know it's not like it is by nature a tie-in movie game, but it's like it looks like better quality than that. Like it looks like fairly like well crafted and well made. I don't know. I just never really. I like this movie, but I don't care enough about Mad Max as a franchise to go and check out expanded stuff. Like I've seen all the old Mad Maxes, and I'm like, yeah, sure, fine.
Boring.
I think 2 or 3 of them are, yeah. Like, and also
Maybe.
it's very funny watching the first one because, like, at the end of it, well, no, like throughout it, George Miller's like, this is an apocalypse. I'm like, this is not an apocalypse. This is just Australia in the 70s. Like, it doesn't, there's no part of this that I think you filmed this and went, this is an apocalyptic thing. Like,
Yeah.
comparing the first Mad Max movie to Fury Road is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's very funny. You can tell he'd been waiting a long time to make Fury Road. Like, this is what I would have done if I had more money and time. But yeah, I don't. That's me on it. Fun fact, by the way, I had 4 pages of notes on Mad Max Fury Road earlier, and to whittle them down, I decided we called twice today. I didn't have much on today.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But I decided to use 20 minutes of my day to come up here and essentially, right, to reconcile with the fact that I'm not a very coherent individual when I want to talk about movies. And I knew we were trying to squeeze 2 in today. And I was like, I have too much to say about Mad Max, so I'm going to talk at no one for 20 minutes. Right? This
What,
is
you
dead
just talked
serious.
to yourself about Mad Max?
Yep, deadly serious.
My God.
I'll throw it on the Patreon if anyone's interested.
You recorded it?
I recorded it, yeah.
You recorded just like 20 minutes of you talking to yourself about Mad Max.
Because I
Are you
wanted
going to turn it into a video essay or some shit?
I might do. The audio's there. I have no idea what I want to do with it, or if I ever want to do anything with it. There's a part of it where I go, "This is probably for no one."
Put it on the Patreon. Yeah, but if you do, the Patreon gets exclusive rights.
Yeah. But it is.
Oh, by the way, we're doing a Patreon. It's mostly still got legs. So don't worry.
It's pretty much still got.
Yeah.
But no, the reason I did it was because I had too much to say. So I came up here, recorded it, listened back to it to ascertain what is not worth saying.
Yeah.
And then I whittled down my notes to a reasonable 1.5 pages instead of 4. When I tell you I love this movie, I love this movie.
That's insane, man. That's fucking insane.
Yeah. What's really insane is how long I was able to talk to no one. It was very eye-opening for me, that experience. And also really fun. Like, it was kind of an enjoyable thing to just sound out what I thought was interesting about this kind of...
You do love talking about movies, which I guess makes sense on this podcast that we have. But, like... I have noticed this, like I think the difference between your letterbox and my letterbox.
That's another one of them emblematic of the podcast things.
Yeah, is very funny. But I guess we use letterbox for different things. I'm not interested in like fucking reviewing and critiquing movies in any way on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
I'm just using it as literally a log of things that I've watched, and that's it. Like, I watched this on this day. Here's a funny little quip about it. All right.
Yeah.
And that's the most I'll do. But you're like breaking shit down. You're going full on. You're doing like paragraphs of like analysis and critical response to shit. And I'm like,
sometimes I'm like sometimes I watch a movie and I have nothing to say. I've no opinion on that. I'm glad I watched it. I enjoyed it even, but I have nothing to say. But there are other times where I'm like genuinely today, I had some work I could have done, but I couldn't focus on it because in my mind, I was like, I know I'm speaking to Nathan about this later, but I need to get this out of my system now. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but like also I definitely have undiagnosed ADHD and I could not stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Bro's got that movie ADHD.
Yeah. If it genuinely, like I've got it. I'm just it's on my laptop. If anyone actually wants to hear that, I won't throw it up on a feed or anything, but I can send it to someone if they want to see it. But
Patreon, sorry.
I mean, yeah, I might do. Should I just do like a rambling about films? It took 20 minutes, so
sure, why not?
You want to hear it? Why not? I guess, yeah. Oh, fun. Anyway, Nathan.
Yes,
it's time to hear what the people have to say about both.
Finally,
of these
we didn't forget this week.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Okay, good.
I don't have to do an insane, unhinged rant in my living room again.
Yeah, which I was definitely there for.
No, you were. I said it.
Yeah.
You were there. Let me pull some thoughts up. And then...
I'll make love to you like you want me to.
Right, this is the part of the show where the audience get to have their say.
Through the night.
If you're new, you can join the Discord and let us know what you think of the stuff that we're watching. The link to join the Discord is in the show notes. To read some out, here's one from Pierce. Barbenheimer walked so that mad, happy, fury feet could run.
Good stuff. I like it. That's right. Yeah. Although, P.S., I saw you give Happy Feet like 2 stars on Letterboxd, so fuck you.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That was like, that's low, man. That's low.
Yeah.
I'll take it up with my wife who gave it 2 stars.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you gotta fucking have a conversation after this.
I'm glad I watched it because I wasn't expecting to like for it to be that movie, and I'm really then glad I got to talk to you about it, who loved it, because it's like brought me round on some stuff on it, I think. So.
Shaka bomb bomb shaka, it don't work.
Company, which is
Melina.
Yeah, I know it's Melina. Stop changing your fucking name, Melina.
They're all changing their names. I also don't understand what this company thing is.
I don't get it either. This is what I don't like about it. I always miss these jokes, and then I go, "What's this?"
Me too. Yeah.
Ari changes her name all the fucking time as well.
Ari's always changing. Everyone's always changing their name. Stop changing your names. All right.
We're old. We want to just get used to seeing one thing. Like, is it so much to ask for one profile picture and one name?
Oh, actually, I'm going to back away from this. I'm no longer involved in this point, but I will say Lawrence is against people changing their names.
No! That's not true.
But I've distanced myself from that. I no longer believe that.
Oh, fuck's sake. Melina says, happy feet's a metaphor for gay, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I would say so.
Well, it's a metaphor for many things, but yeah.
Yeah.
But gay is definitely one of them.
Gay is definitely one of them. Christina has asked us 2 separate questions, so we'll start with the Fury Road question.
Yes.
If Nathan and Lawrence were leaders of a post-apocalyptic biker faction, what would the theme be? Doctor Who seems like the obvious answer, but I think a podcaster-themed gang could also be interesting.
Oh, a podcaster-themed gang could be interesting. We could have how like they make things. I tell you what, one thing I do like about Mad Max is like the design of stuff and how like things are built out of cars. Like the big rig is just like built out of cars.
Yeah.
Like out of like old car parts and stuff, and it looks quite cool. I like to think we could build something out of just microphones.
Road microphones.
Yeah, just various road microphones. I don't know what, but like we could just, I don't know, like a house out of microphones.
I like that. I think also this is a very specific to podcasters only joke. If you've ever purchased a Rode microphone, something Nathan and I deeply enjoy is that all of their products come with a little sticker that just says "I heart Rode microphone" or "I heart Rode."
Yeah, it's great.
And it's literally as touristy as you think. It's the "I heart New York," but "I heart Rode."
Yeah,
right. And we like that. I think maybe we could stick those on the engines of our bikes.
Yeah,
that could be quite fun.
Yeah, the handlebars of our engines that could be made out of microphone.
What microphone arms? With the clamp, because they've got the desk clamp.
You do the little thing for like imagine this, like fucking this. Yeah, you just fucking
Could I somehow manufacture a shock mount for a microphone, which is something that reduces noise, right? When you move the microphone.
Something that you don't have and refuse to buy.
Okay. Is there a way that I could maybe attach one of them to a shotgun and it would reduce the recoil on it or something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Also,
the shotgun would be made out of a microphone as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't shoot anyone.
No,
it would fire riffs at you.
Yeah, it would fire bad riffs that go on too long.
And after every fight, we pitch up a microphone and we go, "Anyway, that was fucking crazy, guys. Get a load of this."
And we pull out a little table and our little microphone.
A fold-out trestle table.
And just discuss what happened. We'll break it down.
Yeah. And the Happy Feet question, if Nathan and Lawrence were penguins, what kind would they be? Brackets, sorry, I haven't seen this since I was 12. This was the best I could come up with.
I think I'd be the Latino penguins.
I would be too. And that's not problematic.
No. Just 2 white guys going to be Latino penguins.
Yeah. If you've got problems
if Robin Williams
can do
it, yeah, he's dead. You can't. If Robin Williams can do it, why not us? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
We can do problematic Latino accents. Lawrence is going to do one now.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to
He's doing it, everyone. He's doing it.
All right, I did it, but I had to cut it.
Wow. He said he loves tacos.
No, I didn't say that. Nathan said that.
That's what Lawrence said.
All right, last question comes in. I'll read 2 out. Fun little thing from Joe comes in. My favourite part of Fury Road is when he drinks water from that pipe. I bet that was so refreshing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It looked nice. It looked refreshing, I will say.
Did look nice, especially if you're in the desert. A bit of water would go down a tree, I reckon.
Yeah, but can you imagine doing multiple takes of that?
Yeah.
You'd be so like, when you drink too much water and you just feel really horrible.
He's got that little garden hose thing on his face as well.
Yeah, that's on his face for so long. What is it with directors covering Tom Hardy's face for long stretches of movies?
I don't know. He's a handsome boy. Like, you want to let that show,
Do you think he looks like... Do you think that he works for like the whole rugged vibe of Mad Max? Like, I think he looks quite sexy in this, if I do say so myself.
I think maybe he looks a bit too handsome at times.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes he's a bit too hot.
They should have gone for early Tom Hardy with his long hair and beard.
Nah, they should have gone for, I don't know.
A healthy middle ground.
Yeah, no, just some ugly cunt.
No, they should have cast a completely different... It is funny that everyone is kind of this horrendous, crispy old man, right?
Yeah.
Makeup up to the teeth, but Tom Hardy is the one sexy man in the apocalypse.
He's very sexy. He is very sexy, yeah. Even Nicholas Hoult is just like a weird, like fucking...
Weird bald
pale
guy,
white boy, yeah. A weird, like, albino child or whatever's going on.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that is. I think if your choice is a Tom Hardy or the Doof Warrior for your prospects, I think you go with the Doof Warrior, right?
Yeah. Anyway, that wasn't your question, but well done.
No, it wasn't. Garen says, last one. He doesn't say that. I say that. Garen says, you're treating us this week. You're giving us both George Miller's masterwork of filmmaking, for which he finally earned his long overdue Oscar, and Mad Max Fury Road. You're too kind to us. Yep.
Indeed.
Good stuff. Question, if you could swap one character from each of these films around, which ones would they be and why?
Oh, you do main character, one for one. Mumble for Mad. Mumble for Mad. I mean,
Mad Mumble.
Mad Mumble.
Fury
and
Road.
Happy Max.
Happy Max.
Okay. Happy Max. Yeah.
Yeah, that could work. I like that. I'm down with that. What would
Although he'd probably just kill all those penguins, you know.
Yeah,
he'd probably just kill all those penguins and then just feast on their flesh.
Thank you very much for writing in, everyone.
Thank you.
Nathan, it's time we recommend some stuff to each other.
I'd love to do that.
Okay, well then take it away, please.
No, you go.
Okay. This is the part of the show where we recommend some stuff to each other. It can be anything we've watched, read, listened to, or experienced in the last week that we just want to share. This is a bit of a cheat and a bit of a cop-out because I didn't watch this. Oh, like you've never done it, all right? Come here.
I haven't.
Yeah, give me a break,
never done
all right?
Never.
I haven't watched this in the last week, but I do think it's a perfect companion piece to this movie because it's Furiosa, and we already spoke about how you're probably going to check it out.
I haven't seen it, and I never will.
This is not true. Everyone watches Letterboxd. He'll be logging. Just watch him log.
I won't know. Out of spite.
No, please. Furiosa. It's a very, very different beast to Fury Road in the sense that it's very clear that George Miller was like, I'm not doing that again. I don't think I can do a better high octane fucking non-stop action movie again. So I'm going to tell a story of Furiosa, the backstory that she shares with the old ladies in what was left of the Green Place, and it's a very thoughtfully made movie, a very interesting movie. It goes in a direction I was not expecting, having anticipated something similar to Fury Road. So yeah, interesting. Also, Chris Hemsworth is like so fucking good in that movie. He's ludicrously fun. Anya Taylor-Joy is great as Furiosa. It's a good movie. Check it out.
Yeah, I'm bloody Chris Hemsworth. I'm a weird Australian bloke and I'm a villain in a Mad Max movie.
He even makes him do a more Australian accent. By the way. Chris Hemsworth, real life Australian man. He's doing the most absurd Australian accent you've ever heard in this movie.
Good for him.
Yeah. What about you? What are you recommending?
I am recommending a game.
Which one?
I am recommending a game called Pocket City. Okay.
Is this one of your like little phone ones that you've gotten addicted to?
It is available on a phone, and I have it on a phone and my iPad and my Macintosh computer.
Bro's covered cross-platforms.
It is cross-platform. I will warn you, you do have to pay for it, okay? But it's like £3 to like buy the app, okay?
Sure.
So I bought it, and I've lost hours to this game. I've lost fucking hours. All right, the other night I was playing it, and literally like fucking 4 hours had passed.
Oh my god, you love these games.
I do. It's basically just like a little kind of like City Skylines sort of thing, where you just basically like plan and design a city. Basically, you've got to run a city, so you got to put residential areas in and commercial areas, and then like there'll be, oh no, there's crime, we need to build a police station. Oh no, there's fire, we need to build a fire station and stuff like that. And you got to respond to natural disasters and like rebuild the town and everything like that. And you have to like, you know, respond to the needs of the people. So like you need housing, they need medical care, they need like transport. So you got to figure out the bus system and everything like that. And it's just fun. I just love little. It's kind of like I can just switch off my brain really and not think about anything else and just get lost in planning a little pretend city for like a couple of hours at a time. And I love it. It's great. I think it's a great way to pass the time.
That sounds so far up your street. Like,
yeah,
you're such a like. I don't know necessarily if it ever like comes across on the show, right? I don't know how necessarily we're perceived outside of what people say to us, right? But like Nathan is such a detail-orientated person. Like Nathan is the most like down to a finite detail, like to the point where I'm very relaxed about shit like that. So it can make for very stressful conversations where you're like, this tiny detail matters, and I'm like, it doesn't, please. So that's like the game for you. That sounds like
what details? Like, give me an example.
I can't think of anything like necessarily specific, but like a lot of the time, like you like designing artwork for the show or something
yeah.
like that. Like it used to happen when we were on a call together, and then one day
Yeah.
you were like, "I did it all," and I was like, "That's do you know what? That works for me."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would be like,
Yeah.
maybe we should use that photo, and you were like, "Yeah, but you haven't thought about it from this perspective." And I'm like, "I guess I haven't, because I guess no one other than you would." And that's fine.
is
I would
true.
rather be more detail orientated, but I'm not. That's all. I just can't do it. So
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's true.
yeah. But yeah, that sounds like the perfect because you love Skylines as well. That's so fun.
I do like Skylines. It's less intense than Skylines though, really. It's like it's more like sort of cartoony and whimsical thing. And I enjoy that more, I think. It's like I don't know, it just feels more fun, I think.
Are you off your Simpsons game? You not play that anymore?
Yeah, that's shut down now. Yeah, that's shut down.
Oh, I remember you saying because it was like the last month you could check it out or something, wasn't it? So
It
they
shut-
made everything
yeah, it was-
free.
Yeah, it shut down in January. It shut down last month. So yeah, and it's gone. It's kind of like a good replacement for that, honestly, because like similar sort of thing. Like you like only this isn't choked in microtransactions. Like you pay for it. You pay like the fucking £3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's yours. Like you don't have to like buy anything else. It's not like hey, you got to wait 4 hours for this building to build, or you can give us like £20 and it'll be instantly built. You know. You know,
And don't you want to spend that 20 quid because you're here and right now, and it would be convenient?
exactly.
That's not. I try and avoid the Fortnite store now because I know deep down it does not matter if I'm dressed as King Kong, right?
Doesn't,
But when I'm looking at King Kong and I've
that's
just
how they
been
get
killed
you.
by someone with King Kong skin,
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's how they
I
get
could
you.
be King Kong.
But what if my King Kong could dance too? I don't know, blinded by the light or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Insert popular song here.
Yeah. Like, I know I don't need that, but like, wouldn't it be cool to have it?
Yeah. So many times I finished that game of Fortnite as a new skin I've bought. I put it down, and the second my PS5 is off, I go, why the fuck did I spend that money?
Yeah. With all that post Fortnite clarity. All right.
It's so true.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get lost in a haze of Fortnite. Yeah, right?
But it feels good, man. It feels good to kill people as Frozone, I must admit.
Nah.
If you could buy a Happy Feet skin.
See,
this-
in a second, yeah.
That's
in a
your
second.
Incredibles.
You imagine a little fucking little Happy Feet, a little mumble running around with a gun.
I love the idea of him shooting someone like with a shotgun and then busting out a tap routine, like flexing on them as they watch them from the afterlife loading screen.
Busting out the L emotes. How do you even do that with his little flippers?
Yeah, I know. They'd find a way. They'd find a way. They always have to.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like in Fortnite when you get any character that has different proportions, they're like, no, fuck you, it's this proportion. Like Peter Griffin
Yeah.
can't be fat in Fortnite, so they make him uber muscular for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wild.
that was the Miller. Not quite a sandwich. That was the Miller debate, the masterworks of George Miller. Are you standing firm with your pick that Happy Feet is George Miller's masterwork?
100%. Yes.
And I am standing firm with mine. So this was
your
a futile
wrong
exercise.
take. Your wrong take.
Write in. Let us know what you think his masterwork is. Is it Babe
Let
2
us
Pig
know.
in the City?
Is it Happy Feet or are you wrong? Maybe tonight I'll watch Furiosa and Happy Feet 2.
Tonight.
Yeah.
It's midnight.
All right.
You're gonna watch 2 movies now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's nuts. That's insane.
Oh, all right. Judge me. All right.
I'm not judging you. I would enjoy squeezing in that many movies. I can't. I can't stay awake
but
that
like,
long.
but how many movies did you watch during the day?
I watched 2 movies in the day, but
There you go.
I split them up, and it wasn't at midnight.
Doesn't matter. Time's irrelevant. All right. Time isn't real. It's all man-made concepts.
Time is a
all right?
construct, bro.
It is. Time is a construct. It's a man-made concept.
All right, but the start
Right.
time of your work day isn't. That's a real thing.
I'm not at work tomorrow.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know this.
I'm at a funeral.
Oh, fuck. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. If you've enjoyed the show, you can give it a review. That'd be cool. None of this really matters. We're doing some other stuff that's coming up. Next week, I'm very excited, actually, because we're going to be doing this.
Bum 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 ba da bum 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 bum.
But not with that one.
But not that one. Bum bum.
Step
bum,
one.
ba-da-bum,
You must
bum,
record this
bum.
podcast on an emotional level.
Discombobulate. Step 1. Get microphone.
Yeah. Step 1. Record with friend.
Conclusion. Mediocre podcast.
Chance of
good
success, 0%.
I reckon you should keep that as the...
Well, that's the sting, is it? That's the title.
Yeah. Just all of it. Just keep all of it, man. Fuck it.
Nathan, what's the other podcast that we do?
It is Still Got Legs. We should record that extra shit soon.
We should actually, yeah.
Yeah. It's our Doctor Who rewatch podcast where every week we watch something from Doctor Who. An episode, probably. We're making our way through that series. Currently going through series 8 at the moment with Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor. We're having a lot of fun. Lawrence is watching some episodes he's never seen before. So, yeah, we're experiencing new for him, but fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
So
it is indeed fun stuff. It's a good time. And it's also like just where we're going to be. If you enjoy hearing us talk about stuff, that's where it is going to be. So
I don't know if you noticed, but I changed the banner on YouTube so it's no longer split between like the shows.
Oh, but it's still the archive though. It's not going. The episodes we've recorded aren't going anywhere.
But it does say new episodes every Friday at 10 a.m. So
let me check this out. Let me see. Let me see what you've done.
I redesigned the banner and made it just another Happy Studios one though.
I gotta see this.
Oh,
that looks really good, by the way.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really nice. I love that purple.
I like that purple. Nice. Yeah. Purple and yellow, I think they go together quite
Podcast with Pat. You didn't consult me on this tagline.
Hey, I don't need to.
I like it.
I don't need to. The home of podcasts with passion.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Thank you very much for listening. We will see you next. When did this come out? Next Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah, bye.
See ya.
Bloody see you later, mate.